in shadows they smirk. Down in the rivers, out in the seas, masters of the deep, dolphin mysteries. Bottlenose freaks, short beaks in the night, humpback shadows, pygmies out of sight. All the dolphins, you know it's true, rolling deep in the ocean blue. Stripes and spots, they rule the tide. Water dogs of the deep, they don't hide. In the river's grip, seas endless bounty, ruling the waves, dolphin Illuminati. Praised by Romans, gods to the Greeks, underwater rulers, the power peaks. In ocean depths, that counts to 6. Dolphins in the dark, never calling it quits. Striped and spotted in the sea's domain. Aquatic dogs in their own insane lane. Through rivers they ride, seas they roam. In the ocean depths, they make their home.
Well, I talk about insanity, which is what's going on in your mind, and outside, which is where you communicate with those outside. As you know, if you give too much of your insanity, they'll lock you up. Well, I tried giving as much as I could. They locked me up. They published it on paper.
Dolphin, Illuminati, deep, deep, deep in the deep they creep. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. Deep, deep, deep in the deep they creep. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. Layla hates the hotties. Oh yeah, Layla, she hates the hotties. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she hates the hotties. Oh yeah. She hates the hotties. Oh yeah, she hates the hotties.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
Here comes Santa. Here comes the world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, makings, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, makings, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
Big up yourselves. Happy Friday night. Brap, 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 brap. Welcome to another episode of the Secret Society of Good Guys. As always, we are your good guys. How are you doing this evening, good guys?
Great. How about you guys?
I'm so happy to be here. I missed you guys.
Yeah, so did I. It's the best time, like just being home, hanging out, just speaking conspiracy and talking conspiracy all night. I just love it.
I'm trying to
Chad
figure out
Warren
how
said,
to.
"Y'all need background dancers like on In Living Color." We have Britney Spears. She's our
Yeah,
background dancer.
she is.
I know. I
Brittany
need to do that better.
Giovanni.
I probably could do very easily a transparent version of Britney dancing over us occasionally. Maybe once
She
we get
danced
on
for us
StreamYard.
tonight. She did a Madonna song.
Oh, did she? What Madonna
"Justify My
song?
Love."
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. She
She's
went like
wearing
that.
she's
It
wearing the
almost made
hat
me
too,
blush.
like the what's it called hat? Melania Trump hat.
You know what? I thought she looked like Melania too. Like I thought she was
Yeah.
making a play on wearing the exact Melania outfit.
That's what I
Didn't
thought
she
she was
wear
doing.
that in a particular video though?
Let's
In one of
pull it
her
up
music videos?
instead of just talk
It's
about
like
it.
a top hat that she wore in one of her music videos. That's exactly like that. And I wonder what that video or a song is about. Excuse me.
Britney Spears.
One of these days, I'm seriously gonna start making like green screen freaking dance videos with Britney's background, and I'm just gonna dance.
Don't sing it, bring it.
I'm gonna do it,
So
but not in lingerie.
but I mean, you know what was so funny? I was trying to tell my mom about the Britney Spears conspiracy, and my mom's like, I think she looks great for her age. And I was like, Mom, that's one way to look at it without conspiracy.
Yeah.
Like, if I look like her at her age, I'd show it off too online.
Hell yeah.
I was like, okay,
Must be
Mom.
the same.
But I mean, my mom probably has pictures like this in well into her 50s, I would say. That's how I grew up, everyone. That's my trauma.
I feel like
Do you think
those
my
hats-
kids are gonna be traumatized with me running around in my thong swimsuit all the time?
No, I really, I was a lesbian. I think it was actually harder on my sister, but I can imagine being an awkward teenage girl going through like getting comfortable in your own body. And then, I'll just shout out to my mom. She's a sexy lady. She has been her whole life. Like I always felt like next to everybody, and I wasn't being biased, but your mom might have been a better cook. She might have driven us to the skating rink. She might have, admittedly, my mom may be smarter than my mom, but my mom was always the like prettiest mom.
She was the
And
hot
so,
mom.
yeah, I always had and my mom wasn't the
needs
party
moms and
house
will.
mom. She was the mom that like you wanted to go out of town with. Like it was a whole different person out of town. Like she was a fun mom out of town, like a field trip mom. But other than that, like on a cruise, fun mom, but strict at the house. But sexy mom. Did you guys have pretty moms?
Yeah.
Do you
I
have
had-
pretty moms, Layla? Sorry, I wasn't trying to talk about your mom in past tense.
Yeah, I had two versions of my mom. So I had the version of my mom before my brother died, and then the version after. So before my brother died, she was like one who always took care of herself, danced, laughed, she was like me pretty much, life of the party. And then after that, it was just woof, different. Yeah, but she's still beautiful. So I love my mom.
She is really
I
pretty.
love her.
My mom was a hardcore hippie, and I mean, she probably was pretty, but to me, I rebelled against everything because she didn't wear a bra, she didn't shave her armpits, she didn't shave her legs, she didn't shave her bikini area. So if you went to the pool or to the lake and your friends were there, then they saw the big old freaking bush hanging out the side. So I couldn't. If she didn't wear makeup, nothing like that. So in my head, like, no.
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 No. I feel like too, and like my sister is beautiful, and all her daughters are beautiful. Like she has 5 daughters, and they're all beautiful, not biased.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
I'm
my
like,
daughters are beautiful. I'm like,
you
holy
have
shit, I
beautiful
made some cute
daughters.
kids.
I'm not even bullshitting you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think it's the same way I can tell Layla with all honesty, like, wow, Layla, you're beautiful. So is your sister.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes if me and her sister were like friends IRL and I said that in real life, her sister would be like, "That's so queer. Don't tell me that again." And I don't know her, but I just imagine. Like if I said it to her, she'd be like, "You're not allowed." Like me and Becky, kind of. Becky Brittany Pickle Spears. Shout out to Becky Brittany Pickle Spears. If I told her, "You look really beautiful today," she'd be like, "Gay."
My sister loves it though. She loves the compliment. She's an Aries. She loves it. She'll take any compliment. She'll get like, yeah, I know.
Um, Alex Daddy is an Aries too, but when I compliment her, she's like, "Chaney, little less."
My sister loves it.
That's so
I'm
funny.
like, wow, you look pretty today. She's like, I do, right? Thanks. I
So
feel good.
before we went on, not to start out with crypto, but I thought it was kind of interesting because we're headed into this like digital currency world, everything going on. And Argentina released a coin and they rugged it, like legitimately, not a hawk to a rug. I know people say like, oh, Trump or the Melania coin, but the Trump coin's probably at like
It just went back up.
$24 today
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, like it's still like sitting okay. And the Melania coin still, it never like did so much of a retrace in this short amount of time. It was kind of crazy. Like the amount of money that was taken out of the chart so quickly, out of all the charts. And I was telling you about this before we went on, and you said something just in brief passing. I said, let's not talk about it until we go on air. But you said crypto wars.
Yeah.
And I thought this is this new level of warfare that we're not even thinking about. Even if I got wind that the country of Layla might be putting their currency into a certain crypto, then wouldn't I kind of want to wreck that crypto before you get there? Or would I want to wreck the crypto before I went there? So I get in low. Like, doesn't it seem interesting? Like a whole country could really play a market, and
Yeah.
it's crazy.
They come out with the most interesting coin and they can invest in creating a whole project and it can take over the whole market if they want. This is a whole generation, a whole new generation of war that they can play along in. So digital war, love it.
It is. It's a new digital war. It's like a different kind of currency war than you'd think. It's like such a like sneaky little. And why would one country be like, here's my coin, world? But then if you look up the homeboy that
It's like a Trump move.
like Javier, he's like a WEF guy. So it's curious. I don't know. I thought we're like headed into this place that I see these dances play out and they just seem so choreographed that I have to think like, is this a purpose walk to digital currency, or is it trying to make people have distrust in digital currency, or is it setting up for regulation?
I think it's more towards regulation.
Regulation. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's wild. It's wild. I mean, doesn't casinos even have regulations?
Well, what would be so it would be like
Yeah.
you're not allowed to bot trade. It's
That would probably be one of the things, because that's what like really like fucks a market. Like it can help a market, but also fuck it at the same time.
And doesn't this seem kind of interesting? Like we all we're like, oh, we love that idea. How about we all want to get rid of bots? Well, how are we going to do that? We all have to verify ourselves with our currency, which we all already kind of do anyway. But then doesn't it get into this like we're asking, like, we're like, you want me to put the handcuffs behind my back? Or like, doesn't it kind of seem like we're like the frog in the water where it's the slow boil with cryptocurrency?
I wonder like who's part of that though. It's like I feel like we all want a free market, but I feel like there's like a pest in this realm now. Like it's almost, I don't want to say, but it's like a group of people coming together and like kind of doing these rug pulls on purpose to create regulations so they can have like control over it. Like they're losing control of the IRS, if you get my drift, if you know who I'm talking about. So what if it's something like that? They don't want people to be like their own banks, and that's what they wanted to push for, like us being our own personal bank of what I own, like the bank of Chaney, the bank of Abbie, the bank of Layla, and I don't think they really want that.
So
So I
maybe
think,
a couple of people would, like, you would think like a couple people might come out just to ruin the game,
yeah,
like ahead of time to make people not trust it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Or it also makes me think in this fucking Trump way that he always gets ahead of everything. So all these places were plan on having shitters come out that were slowly going to drink the liquidity and equity that everybody's made out of crypto over the last X amount of time. But out of all the money they have planned to do it, they can't 70 billion market cap, and no one's ever going to fake write a coin that high.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they gave the Trump coin to show people high expectations and let people take a little, profit. And then they showed the Melania coin to say, don't have high expectations. See how you all jumped out of that one and jumped into this one, and look what happened. It's almost like it taught everybody that now there's this one that people are like, there's no such thing as a free meal, everyone.
Yeah. Oh man. I love it at the same time though. It's crazy. It's wild.
Because it feels like, I called this episode In Deep because it feels like everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's digitally. It doesn't matter if it's spirituality. It doesn't matter if it's conspiracy. It doesn't matter if it's politically. It doesn't matter what your ism or what your vice or what your thing. We're all in deep. Like we're all in where people, it's like, I know every culture talks about apocalyptic, revolutionary 2012, end of times bullshit. But I feel like right now, no one's trying to tell us it's end of times. We're all just kind of like, something feels different.
Yeah.
Oh, except that, the Armageddon fucking, what's it called?
The end of
City
times playbook,
killing, the city killing, what's it called? City killing.
the World War III,
No,
the city killing
The
Palestine,
movie Armageddon, what's it called? I can't even think of
the
okay, look.
comment.
I've got prep brain so bad right now. I can't think of words.
I have those moments.
Oh,
Killing. I gotta
dude.
know what she was talking about. This was
Well,
like
okay.
charades.
I'm gonna
The
totally derail the
city killing.
conversation just to tell you how bad my brain is. The other morning, I
Mine
went and
too.
did cardio, right? And I came back, and I live in an apartment now. I'm sitting there using my key in my door. It's not working. I was like, what the fuck? So I'm knocking on the door. I'm calling my daughter. She's not coming to answer the door. Then dawns on me I might not be in the right place. So I turn around and I like don't see my neighbor's chairs out there. I see like these other chairs. So I was like, oh shit, I was at the wrong fucking building. So I did that. Then the very next day I go to the gym and I'm walk out of the gym and I thought I remembered where I parked my car. So I'm walking towards my car. I see I have a red car. Fucking hit the button to unlock it and it doesn't like I don't see the lights come on and all that, but I open the door and it opens. Like the person didn't lock their door. Wasn't my car. I had it like like twice in like 24-hour period.
Holy shit.
Have you guys ever
That's
done
how
that where you got
bad.
into the wrong car?
I did.
I've done
Yeah.
that too. I've been on
Yeah.
the phone with
But it's like-
friends and been like, yammer, 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 da da da.
I'm going to the
I've-
wrong
This
car.
isn't
done it
my
many
car. Oh shit, you guys.
'Cause-
And then I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble for being in someone's car for a second.
Like the
Asteroid. That was the word I
current
was looking
car
for
that
there.
I
That's what I thought
Asteroid.
so too. I wanted her to finish, but she got off topic.
It's an asteroid.
Back to the city killer, full circle.
City
That's why-
killer asteroid. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're doing the Armageddon timeline again.
I just love to see like the Democrats be like the biggest hypocrites on this planet right now. The liberals, whatever you want to call yourselves at this point. It's just funny to see like all these things that are being found with our tax-paying money, our soul energy, our fucking the loosh, okay? The loosh energy that they've looshed us with. And they take that's just one section. Y'all are mad that they're finding this shit. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how y'all are mad that they're finding out what these corrupt fucking politicians have been up to all this time. I don't understand the logic behind it at all. I don't understand the logic how they're pissed that they're 19-year-olds who are uncovering this, but they're geniuses. But yeah, who was it that said it? One of these famous, like, red, Republican side said, well, if you think that they're young, what do you think of our military members that are like actually fighting for this country? Are they too young? Like, what are you guys trying to say? Like, they are fit, they are well capable individuals, 19-year-olds who are uncovering this, and you guys are just mad and you're upset at what they're gonna find, because they're gonna find a lot of shit. And I love it. They're not gonna be able to walk the streets. Q said that.
What's that site, Layla, that you always, is it the national debt? What's the
The debt clock, the US debt clock.
US debt clock? Mm-hmm.
And Ingersoll Lockwood website. That's
But
where
there's
I got
one
it.
okay, it is this one. So look at this now on the US debt clock. I don't know how long it's been since you've been here, but I
It's
am
been a
not.
minute.
Yeah, I'm not a frequent traveler of here, but I saw this and I was like, what? So on the national debt clock, if you zoom in now, there is like
A Doge.
a Doge clock clicking, because this is supposed to, all of this debt is supposed to slow down, which if you were watching how fast it was counting before, and it's like slowly slowing down eventually until it's going to go backward, and then it's going to go into here. And that's supposed to all happen before July 4th.
Oh, this is like, guys, I'm just excited for what's to come.
And look at our ratio to GDP.
That's why I like the idea of like everything all happening in the now. Like there's an apocalypse happening somewhere.
Look at
there's
the
a
numbers
flood
of the
happening.
debt per taxpayer. Look at 323,047.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, and this is another thing too, I've paid all my motherfucking bills. I don't owe the IRS anything. They owe me, actually. So part of this debt is the money they owe me. So I just feel like when they say each debt per person, fuck off. It makes me so irritated. Like, no, you mishandled that. It's not my debt.
Mm-hmm. It's the debt that they created for us.
Yeah, it's just like some fake fucking ticker number. But I do like that Dodge number too. And like watching it go up, I'm like, it might hit 100,000 before we finish this episode.
Yeah.
I certainly hope.
Or 100 billion. What is that?
It's
yeah,
crazy.
100 billion.
Oh yeah, that's not a decimal point; it's a comma.
Yeah, so that's pretty dope. I like it. So that per you should go down. And then I was wondering if there'll be another calculator on here, like if TikTok or if one of those other, Trump's like, oh, we have oil beneath our feet. I wonder if, there's going to be a number that clicks in the other direction that it says how much you're owed.
Do you think we're going to get some sort of refund?
I think you're due a refund. I think everybody in America is due a refund. It's the most socialistic thing. And I'm not really into Sara as much as I just think your grandparents were fleeced. Your parents were fleeced. You've had poison sprayed on your food your entire fucking life. You've gone up through the Rockefeller education system. You've been in debt from their bad university system. And the higher you went in college, the more in debt you got. So the more brainwashing you get. So the more bad ideas you had to unlearn. And then I feel like the worst of worst is you injected your child with a poison, probably. That would just be my worst of worst. And if it's the worst of worst, they're injured from that somehow. And you have to fucking deal with it, even if you didn't know any better then. And then it's like the levels, how much is that worth?
Yeah.
How much is, like your fucking kid's autism worth in a paycheck? And what about if it was your kid's eyes or their ears? So
Or
it's like, how much
cancer.
is that worth? Yeah.
Probably nothing if you're in the military, and even though your children weren't in the military because you're owned by the U.S. government.
So I just feel like it's not really like it's what you're owed. Like,
Yeah.
your people of blood, sweat, and tears on those states, and this federal government hasn't just fleeced all your money. It's fleeced whatever product your state made.
Yeah.
Whatever product your state made. And if they said there was a war, they could just come knock on your door and take your guns and your gold. Like, fuck them, dude. They have done it so many times that I feel like everybody is owed money. So if
Yeah.
they say 1% of the world has 99% of the world's wealth, dude, we've been getting by like a struggling couple. Like, we've all been getting by. Even if you've been doing okay the whole last bit of time, think of how much better you could be doing. So it's just like, if we are just getting back 5%, what does that feel like to a community? What does 10% feel like? What about if we get 50%? So I just feel like, I don't know. I'm a glittery red pill, but
I like it.
why not be? Why not? Everybody, like, if I'm
If
ever in
enough
line
of us
for the
believe it, we can
ovens,
make it happen. That's
I
how
will lose my
quantum
head.
works.
Like, I'm not going to ever put the mask on. I'm never sticking the vaccine in my arm. I'm not going to, they'll have to put me in the incubator, like fighting and screaming. Like, I'm going to leave dents on the iron door. But whatever. I mean, this is what we're here for, right? We were chosen to have chaos reign a little bit with things. Like, no, we will not have order out of your chaos. We will make more chaos out of your chaos. And then we will decide what we want to do with it afterward. You don't tell us, we tell you. You want to make
Yeah, right.
organization, we make keck. Like, we're such assholes. They're like, we're trying to move on with this thing. Epstein didn't kill himself. How many funny ways can we make this? Like, no matter what it is, everybody comes out with the thing so fucking fast. I'm like,
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's up there. It's all there for you.
and when people say people are in their fucking cars with masks on still, I really think, y'all, the question is not whether or not AI is going to become sentient. The question is, are all these motherfuckers?
Period. In the gym too. Like, that drives me crazy. Why are you fucking there?
Dude, people were wearing them in the pool, like in the water.
The fuck?
You're not normal. People
No.
wore fish
Sorry, I'm
bowls
gonna
on
say
their
it. You're
heads.
retarded. If you're doing that, you're
Yeah.
retarded. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like the shit that we saw, man. I'm gonna pull up all those old pictures on my Facebook of like the ideas people
You know
came
what
up
else
with.
too? We're 3 white women, so I feel like it's up to us to say this. I think we should speak for all white women. Hey, white women, you don't have to fucking go around being more offended than every single one of the victims on the planet.
Yeah,
Period.
It's
seriously.
fucking white women. It's like,
Virtue signaling, stop it.
yes. If you look at fucking who's transitioning all their fucking kids, it's like book club girls with nothing fucking to say because Oprah's not on anymore and fucking Jennifer Aniston doesn't have a new haircut. So they transition their fucking kids so they can be cooler than their kid with the gay kid, and they can be cooler than their kid with the autism, and like they can go on with this like new purse of virtue signaling. It's
Yeah.
like,
Don't you even
ugh.
feel like autism is a trend now? Everybody's like, oh, like Bill Gates is calling himself autistic and Kanye is calling himself autistic. And I'm like, you know what, motherfuckers, stop self-diagnosing yourself as autistic. Like, I feel like it's a trend now. Everybody's like, oh my.
I feel like instead of saying autistic, we should normalize all saying vax injured.
Yeah.
We should all normalize it with whatever our ailment is. Like when I even had a migraine yesterday from the weather, I should be like, I think this is my vax injury.
That's
think
what I
we
should
just
say
it
to
about
people.
everything.
Yeah, like, yeah, my child suffers from autism and this spectrum. Like, oh, so your child was vax injured, and just go like it nonchalantly. Like, what? What do you mean? Yeah, that's why children get autism through vaccinations.
No, that's not what they
Oops,
say,
I
though.
said it.
This is a good time that I should
said it.
tell
Oops.
everyone to make sure that you like and subscribe us everywhere, including
Oh,
on X and
Chaney
Rumble.
dropped that
I
word
did it.
early.
It's including on X and Rumble. This is just a good time to say it.
Yeah.
Where we might be able to say this stuff without going to YouTube re-education camp. But I don't even really care. Like, it is what it is. Like, we'll put up. We have 2 channels. Let's see if we get in trouble on them both.
Yeah, we also have to tag RFK Jr. to the idea that chemtrails exist, and we have to make them more aware of it. So we have to like make more of those posts and share them and tag Donald Trump and RFK and all the big names up there, because I think our voices will be heard. And
Well, I think it's Tennessee, right? Tennessee outlawed chemtrails.
yeah,
I think, yeah, it's just that's
I
a
think some
start.
states
Yeah.
actually fought against not allowing them to spray that shit over their town or whatever. I forgot which state it was, but a few people fought against it, and I think they won. I think there was a documentary on it, if I'm not mistaken. I can't trust my brain sometimes. I don't like, so much information passes through this. That's why I hate the internet sometimes, because the constant information you're being fed, and it's like, where do you store it? Where?
Do you see how it says Gulf of America now?
I love it. I love it. Which news channel or company refuses to like call it that still?
California? I don't know.
I think it's a major newspaper, and they refused, and I think they got sued, or they're getting sued for not printing the correct information and printing false news or something like that.
Printing fake news or getting sued.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, one
Fake
of the things I
news.
was actually wondering about this, well, you know me, everyone, I think everything's a spell. So one, I think it's a spell, and there's something that's being done that with Mexico and America that we don't quite understand. But really, in the 3D, do you think it makes null and void a whole bunch of like Halliburton contracts? Like, do
I
you
don't
think
know.
there's a whole bunch of out of, coastline weird agreements? I don't
I
know.
think what I don't want to say it out loud, but since we are what we are and things just happen when we say them, for some reason I feel like Mexico is going to become part of America. I don't
Oh,
want to say it, but I think it's going to happen. The way that like Gulf of
51st state.
Gulf of America, and like they talk about Canada, but like think mirror, think as above, so below, or up, and down. Always think mirror. Like they say, oh, Elon Musk is the Antichrist. Why? Because but who changed the Bible? A person who wrote demonology. So it's like you want to like understand who these authors are and who these characters are, and kind of mirror what they're kind of telling us not to believe, and like be aware, because we don't know. So I'm just saying. But what it looks like, Elon seems like he really truly wants to see people actually doing well.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something feels like no, I just feel like something is like,
Too good to be true.
yeah, like
I don't want to think like that.
well, it doesn't, there's parts of it still that I'm like, and I'm trying to figure out, you guys. I don't know if it's some setting on here. Let me see. Deech. Oh, fuck
I
around
think
with
the
it
more that
later.
we believe power will come back to the people, I think the more of us feel and believe that, I think that's the timeline we'll see in America.
I just want it to come back to the people, not a billionaire. Like,
Yeah.
not a billionaire who's still
Yeah.
shadow banning people with things that he doesn't like. I don't want, like, there has to be some kind of transparency with a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a whole bunch of stuff. So, and
Or it could be Trump's plan to expose people, because you know how he plays the game and hires certain people and puts them on the spotlight only to reveal who they truly are. So it could be that too.
yeah, I'm not worried. It just feels like some things in the world are just so crazy right now. Like the fact that a whole country just released a coin and they were like, yep, what of it? But then I was thinking, why would, like, that seems like the same. It's like how people say a cold war, a freezing war, like this ice cold. This is ice cold.
I mean, look at what's happening in Los Angeles right now. Flooding, crazy floods, the coastline like being deteriorated. some kind of like weird tsunami situation they were talking about. Yeah, but they haven't seen rain like this in forever, apparently. Like really bad flooding in Los Angeles, which is strange. Isn't it hilly?
Yeah, it seems like when they have dry season though, like mud floods always come afterward. I didn't mean to say mud flood, but it also seems like something in the stars that people don't want to believe that everything's in the sky clock, but it seems like if there was a cycle on certain cities that, but especially if you help light it on fire. And they want to, like, Trump has all the water coming in, so now there's rain on top of it. So is the new water helping flood the area? I don't know. I haven't looked into the Los Angeles thing very much. That's how I feel. Look at that is exactly me, Howard. Gesundheit, Abbie. Bless you. Or if you feel like being atheist, I'm just sorry you sneezed. But most people like sneezing, so I don't even know why it's such a big deal. I think when people sneeze, we should do like to each other like a child, where we're like, "Yay!"
That's a weird phenomena.
It feels good.
So nothing goes into your lungs or your sinuses to cause an infection. Your nose is like, "No, ma'am."
It's just
No,
weird.
ma'am. And
The
so
whole
fast.
body reaction, like, shoo. It's like a, ugh. Like you don't ask to do it; it just does it. It's like, what is the fucking thing that does it?
So if that's the
nose.
orgasm
What
of the
fuck?
face, like what is it? Then it's like getting stuff out of your sinuses. What's the orgasm on down below trying to get rid of?
What else
Um,
is weird
Oh
like
my
that?
gosh. You know how like old men sneeze? Like how it's so loud and
Yeah.
obnoxious where
Yeah.
you're like that it almost irritates me if somebody sneezes so loud that it shocks me. I get like a little peeved, like where it startles me, where I'm like, that just scared me. Jesus, like when you're in a waiting room or something like that, and all of a sudden an old man's like, ah.
I'm the
Achoo.
quiet sneezer.
Like, yeah.
Like I hold it in. I'm that sneezer.
Where it's all quiet.
Uh
When people sneeze like that, I always am like, mice.
huh.
I always get worried. I'm like, the back of your head's gonna just blow off, or your lungs gonna be like.
Eyes pop out.
I feel like I sneeze like achoo, achoo. You guys, I need to stop paying attention to it, but there's some way in this to not make us see how we're like this. We're squares and not filling it in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
You
I could
figured
just
it out
leave us
last
like
time,
that.
didn't you?
I know. I don't know what I did, but I'll stop paying attention to it. I'm sorry. I'm sidetracked. What else is going on in this week in the world? They did say there was a comet. Did you see that?
They
Is
always
it the
say there's
comet
a
or the
comet.
asteroid?
Or an asteroid? I always get
The
them
city
confused.
killing asteroid?
It's weird.
Or is it a comet? Is there a comet too?
Okay, it says why asteroid. I'm just gonna pull it up.
It's flat
Mm-mm.
and it's curved at the edges.
What is?
The Earth is flat and curved at the edges.
Why asteroid 2024 YR4 is unlikely to hit Earth in 2032. And look at what year it is, 2032, and how scientists keep track.
Sure. Did you hear about the ice that fell from the sky? Like a 6-foot chunk of ice. And a lot of people are like, ice from out of nowhere, like on not a cloudy day, on a beautiful day, just out of nowhere, boom, put a hole through somebody's roof.
Up the firmament?
Thank you. There's something up there, y'all. There's something up there.
Or
And the
is
more
each
I'm looking at those
mothership?
videos of Elon Musk sending those rockets, it looks like something in water, just like zzz, gliding on water. That's what it looks like in every single one.
Now that you mention it, and I probably still have it on my phone, or it's probably in Project Chaney on Telegram. I could probably find it. It's probably one of the first videos I posted. I took a video of the rocket here. And I always say it just goes due south. And I've watched
Mhm.
so many rocket launches, they all arc and it just goes due south. But one of them did this weird pattern and it looked like so much like so that it was underwater. Like it went
Mm.
bloop, where you could almost see like it put out,
Splash.
yeah, like it put
And then
out round
boom.
ripples afterward.
I'm telling you, it's like a different density of water. It's a different type of water that we're
They have
dealing
to
with.
hit it so fast, like, they have to hit it at an arc, because if they hit it dead on, it's like diving into a pool.
Yeah.
Like, they
So they have
can't like,
to.
maybe they hit something else.
That's
It's like
what
the
they say.
ocean under the ocean that they found.
Yeah.
Like a different
Yeah.
density.
Yeah.
I sneeze so loud, my guitar strings and singing bowls resonate.
I posted an interesting video if you guys want to check it out later. Of this man talking about how this whole entire realm,
A sneezer for money. Sorry, go on.
this whole entire realm is made and is all crystal, but all different types of crystal. Everything is crystal, like from liquid matter to air to it's all crystal structure. And it's a very interesting post because he has information to back this information up. And I'm just like, dude, it fucking makes sense. And that's why things become crystallized or petrified after a certain amount of time. And like finding gold and finding all these elements or crystals. But when you kind of look at some of these crystals, some of them, we talked about it before, look like bacon. I think it's rhodonite. Yeah, it's rhodonite. And that only makes me think it's just like, that's what it is. It's all what is crystal made of? What's that element?
Silicate.
Silica. There you go. Silica. It's all silica based. It's all that.
You know what is so funny? We all have words like that just are like, I don't want to say mine because I know I'm not going to get it right. I'm going to try it. Well, why don't you just say it for me? Do you already know what it is? I already know it. Like, hold on. Let me say it aloud once in my brain and see if I can get it. Chimera.
Oh,
You
chimera.
said it right.
Because you know what? I stop. You know how like I can just hear my parent be like, "Why don't you think about what you're gonna say sometimes before you say it?"
The way
But
we
that
That
say
almost makes it worse because you're like,
Chamaria
oh shit.
or chamaria. Chamaria.
Yeah. I feel like I said it wrong too. And then I overthink it. That's so I just have to think of it. And there's a different, here's something. There's a difference of myself just saying it and then hearing myself say it aloud. Like,
But
or
can
there's a difference of myself hearing myself say it aloud and then hear it in my brain. Like if I like I actually stand outside myself and can hear myself say it, and then I can usually get it right. But if
Hold up.
I
This guy said, or no, Lucy said, pink gatonite is rhodonite. So gatonite is an anagram for giant, no? Look at it.
it looks like a different rock a little bit than the one you're talking about. Let me look up a bigger field. I'm gonna pull up this. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up
Am I
I just
saying-
put in the one that she said. But maybe in a field of it, like maybe they just pulled up this. Let me look up.
Rhodonite.
Oh, never mind. It put
Oh
pink
no, it's not
granite.
rhodonite.
Never mind. Don't listen. Put pink granite in. It spell corrected me because I spelled it wrong.
No, you see my brain, bro. Hold on, I'm saying it wrong. It's not it.
Oh, is it just pink granite you were saying? But you said gratinite. I have a friend from New York that says radiator, and her dad's from New York, so her whole life until she was like 30, she thought it was just a radiator. Gratinite. But there is that one that looks like bacon, but maybe it's a pink because you said it last time, I thought.
I don't know what it is. Rhodochrosite? No.
Layla, your boobs
Yeah,
look
I think
good.
that's it, Layla. Rhodochrosite.
Rhodochrosite?
Yeah.
That's why I got it wrong. Rhodochrosite.
Sorry, you guys. I have to see if this is it or not. Yeah, I think this is the one.
Like bacon.
That looks like bacon.
Yeah, rhodochrosite. Yeah, there you go. It's not the first one that I said. Whoops.
Pull it up. But I wonder. I want to see
That is human flesh or giant flesh. That is giant flesh. 100%. I don't care what anybody says. Look at it. It's bacon. It's just petrified. That's
the
it.
Alma King. The world's largest known fine rhodochrosite. Look what they called it. The Alma King. See? Are you guys on the same page as me?
Yeah, I can see it. But what does it say?
Okay. Oh, I'll zoom in. Sorry. Mink. What page am I on again? I have some. Okay.
The Alma King. Huh.
Let's see.
Why is it called that?
It's the largest one that was found.
That looks like
Oh my gosh,
bone
you
marrow.
guys. Look at that.
Dude, yeah, I'm telling you. It's flesh. It's crystallized flesh. Everything is crystal, bro.
Okay.
It's making
we're
so much
gonna-
sense. Alma.
Where is this? Alma King. It's found.
Giant. Let me see. Alma King giants?
Yeah, what's Alma mean? What's Alma mean?
Alma?
Oh, you guys aren't even on the same page as me. I went down a whole
Alma.
rabbit hole. I'll come back for a little bit. Alma.
Alma. I don't know. I gotta go deep dive on that. Alma.
That's so crazy, though.
It
Yeah, 'cause
is.
It makes it sound like it's a person.
Well, because then
King of the
think of the idea of like, let's say in the David and Goliath story, and that being a giant or a Nephilim.
To grow, to nourish.
It doesn't mean it was the largest Nephilim, and it doesn't
No.
even mean it was the first. They seem like the fallen would have gotten smaller over time, like to come closer to our size. So it's like, who says? Sometimes you look at waterfalls and you're just like, huh,
Yeah.
I see you, girl.
So Alma is to grow, to nourish, and then it further goes into make, grow, strengthen, to get well, high, literally grow tall, nurturing, nourishing. Yeah. Very interesting.
Look at Alma Mater, nourishing mother,
Alma.
like our alma mater. You know, like if you were at a
Yours, where you graduated from.
yeah, they make you.
That's what that means. Nourishing mother. Weird. Did you know that?
No, I never even thought about it.
Me either. And why haven't we? Because that's like
Ma.
such a weird.
Alma.
I don't even know any alma mater except this is so nerdy. Do you remember the
Yeah.
movie with
Chag.
No. Oh, I do
Oh.
know that too. I do know that too. But the one I feel like I even know better than that is Lean on Me with Joe Clark, Principal Joe Clark.
Mhm.
That alma mater. I'm like, Fair East Side. I feel like I could sing that whole one where he walks in after they sing it in the bathroom. Have you guys ever watched Lean on Me?
Yeah. It's been a long time, but yes, it was
It's
good.
such a good movie. It's probably total propaganda. But that's when like it was a little different. We were still in the Rockefeller education system, but we weren't No Child Left Behind yet.
Yeah.
It's older than me, but I still remember being a little kid and watching that movie a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. And then I just would sit there and play like 2 keys on my piano because Lean on Me is like
Oh, I know. So
you could peck
good.
it out.
Mother Earth, Father Time. Isn't that interesting?
Mother Earth and Father
Time is
Time.
weird.
What movie is that from?
I don't know. I never heard it before.
It's a lullaby.
I never heard it before. I
I'm
know.
gonna have to look that up, so I gotta write it down.
For anyone that's seen Lean on Me, when he yells at the music teacher, I forget her name, but when he yells at her and he almost makes her cry, and then he's like, make sure every student in this school learns that version of the song, and then like releases the song. It's pretty cute, but it's like the first time he kind of softens up because he's about to yell at these boys in the bathroom, and he's like, sing the school song, sing the school song. And they like take the school song that's some like broke down, tired old 1940s version of this alma mater, and they like totally sing it a cappella, and it's pretty dope. So you guys should totally watch that movie. It's feel good. You can watch it with your children. It's probably
Nice.
I don't know. I feel like it's parts of it seem like Welcome to the Jungle music video, where there might be at some point a girl running down the hall without a top on, like but
But it was
might be the
totally
worst.
PG in the 80s or whatever, right?
I know everyone's so soft. I don't know what's happening now. PG in the 80s, you could just show boob and not even think twice about it in the
I
80s.
know.
The song Father Figure. I don't know if we went
Oh,
through that before.
George Michael.
Yeah. The lyrics to that, I
Are
just gotta
gay?
wake up. Oh my God. No, it talks about like
Pedo.
about like I want to feel warm inside, naked by my side, thinking that sometimes you'll never understand me, blah blah blah, and put your little tiny hand in
Yeah.
mine, talking about like a
Be your
fucking little
father figure.
I
Put
could be your
tiny
father
hand in
figure.
mine.
And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Ew.
fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
remember
pedos.
George Michael? He got all caught up. Like, look at in that bathroom thing.
mm-hmm. The only song I like from him, what is it?
I don't know. I think George Michael has some bops.
Oh, that's not George
Baby.
Michael.
No, who is that?
No, that's I don't
I know it's
remember.
George Michael.
Sing more of the song?
I don't know. The Wicked Things. There you go. Wicked
Oh,
Things.
that's Chris Isaac.
Yeah,
Oh,
Chris
is
Isaac.
Wicked
it?
Games. Wicked Games by Chris Isaac. George Michael has some bops though.
He did.
I like them all right. Freedom 90.
Oh yeah,
Let
you're
me see if I
right.
could touch your
And
body.
I was
I
like,
know not
oh my gosh, he
everybody
has every hot
like
girl.
you.
I remember watching
He
that
is so
video.
hot.
But I like the Limp Bizkit version
But
better.
now it makes sense because he was gay, and all the gay girls would totally, or all the models would totally hang out with a gay guy.
Chris
Fuck yeah.
Isaac was fine in that video. Was that him in that video with that girl?
What
Yeah,
one?
right?
Oh, Chris
Wicked
Isaac.
Games? Yeah. Was that him?
Yeah.
Wow.
I never thought he was cute. He had a weird
Me neither.
nose.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little.
He wasn't my type.
Yeah.
I don't have a type, but well, no, I do. I've decided my type is big thighs. I like thighs on a man.
You're like, that's what I do know.
Yeah, that's what I do know.
The guy that's totally. So if you're out there, you better start getting your thighs game in.
Yeah.
But it means you're totally gonna fall for somebody with like puny little thighs. No, but you're not even gonna notice. You're gonna be like, Chaney, they're tiny little thighs, but I love them. I love them. I love his little thighs. They're the cutest little thighs, and they're strong.
Stringy
I
little
like it.
fuckers, but yeah.
It's like always these, but you kind of know other stuff that you end up like that you're attracted to with somebody that you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Sometimes it's not like even a type. You're just like, wow, like there's something about this person, and it just clicks. It works. And sometimes it's a type, and sometimes a type that I like, I just know, just stay away.
Look at this
Get
out of the
the
blue.
fuck out of my face.
If
like,
there's a fork in the road, look at this statement, but it's not out of the blue. It's probably something they were talking about really great in chat, but I just like it. Cleopatra did what she want.
yes, she did. Yes, she did. And a lot of women did what they want. And then somewhere along the line, men were terrified of that.
What about if it was protected? What about if men protected it instead?
Well, they used to, yeah.
Like, you know, the same way, like if they try to say like Hillary Clinton and AOC and like the feminist revolution of Gloria Steinem, that is the femininity we all agree with, where it's not. but there's parts of it, but it's not that. It's like somewhere it's fake femininity. What about if the somewhere about what happened over time? Like, what if
Yeah.
whatever's protected almost got buried? You know how like you're like, I'm gonna hide my weed for myself, and then you hide it so good you forget where you hid it. But
Yeah.
instead, people got killed. But what if at first, like there was generations of men that were like, we're gonna change your last names and move our babies over here and do this and to
Well,
keep things
yeah.
safe.
What men are known for is protecting their land. And I saw this man speak. He's an African tribe member, and he's talking about how men's responsibility is to honor and protect and respect women. And we have two wives in our lives: our land and our wives. Our land, so we could produce the food for our women since they take care of their household. And number two, to protect my women, my land, and my wife, because that's my kingdom, my land. And that's when people actually owned their fucking land. So when these oligarchies and these fucking churches and these mosques and all these other corporations and entities started coming along and taking the land and saying it's not yours, you have to pay tax on this and yada yada yada, that's when it started changing. Like, in a way, like they started destroying the man so they could destroy the woman. So I'm kind of seeing that now. So I don't want to be like a man hater, because I'm
That's what
not.
for real,
Yeah.
dude. And
But
everyone, like, if you have that instinct in you as like being a protector, like that instinct deep down, a lot of the times generationally from whatever country, they snipe that from the pool by war. And then if you're somebody that you're like, fuck the government, I'm going to feed my family anyway, they snipe you to prison. So
mhm,
it's like the
Yeah.
most masculine they do this shit with, because the least masculine, not that people that are just providers by pushing numbers or sitting in cubicles, there's something really beautiful about that. They figured out a beautiful way about how to play in the 3D and provide for their family. Like, but that isn't necessarily the masculine that would have
they're natural.
taken back, like would have been like, I'm going to die for my queen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and so I feel like somewhere they keep taking that, and then the most feminine in society they abuse
Yeah.
in different ways, and so they fear us from being from finding like the divine things in each of those, and they call it toxic overall to search. So
Yeah. That's what I think. And like, I like that idea, like, oh, I'm here to respect, protect my land, my woman, my kingdom, and whatever was yours was yours. And they did anything in their power to protect from thugs, from anybody who came along to even try and take that. And they understood it could be like a village full of women, but like they still need that protection because there's fucking crazy ass men out there. So I don't know. I like that idea. But now it's like, oh, what do you bring to the table? Motherfucker, hire a maid and see how much money you spend a year for your maid to come and clean and cook for you. And then come talk to me
Oh, cook
about,
is separate.
yeah, thank you. Just add it up real quick.
Yeah.
You'll get into the $100,000 mark. Just saying, a year.
this too, I feel like people always think like there's runners and there's fighters, but there has to be runners and fighters, because the people that fight make it so the runners can run. And a
Yeah.
lot of the times it's all the men fighting so the women and children can run. And
Mhm.
sometimes, a lot of the times, most of the time, the women and children got found. And then the women either got taken into the same slavery their men did or killed, or if they could play along nice enough and get raped quietly enough, then they could keep their children alive.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, here lies the conundrum of history. Every time a people get taken over by another people,
Yeah.
is that only the winners are like, you shut the fuck up. This is the new history you're going to tell.
Yep.
So
And like the
it's
history of like you said, is slavery. People are so caught up in this idea that it was just a black thing, but it's not just a black thing. People don't even talk about the history about how millions of white people were actually slave traded in Africa, or and every
In the
country,
United States. I mean,
country.
indentured servitude was huge. The Irish, The Irish were some of the very first slaves in the United States
Yeah.
because you can't call indentured servitude anything but slavery. They came
Yeah.
over here under a contract for like no particular amount of time. Like they had to work for
The
just
word
their
slave
passage. Yeah.
came from the word Slav because that's when it first, like, the whole idea of it started, when that I mean, it was global, y'all. It's not just one particular skin. They had Chinese slaves, Russian slaves, black slaves, Latin slaves. I mean, every society in history has probably gone through it. So we have to get this idea that, oh, this skin color and this skin. No. It's always the leaders who try to portray something on the people so they can control them. And we, the people, have to come together finally and understand it's not a color thing. We're all the different shades of orange. Thanks to Chaney for pointing that out. So
I
yeah,
think
that's
it
what we
was
need
this
to do.
one. I don't want to point out the wrong one, but I think it is the Paint Creek, Cabin Creek strike of 1912. But there is, I'm trying to find it, but there's that song where it's like, I owe my soul to the company store, because it wasn't just indentured servitude. And they also had company store dollars where you might
I
be able
have
to,
some of those coins, like the little coins that were
from one of
traded
those
just yeah.
places.
Yeah.
That, because you might and they did this in Portland too, they called it Shanghaiing people, is that you might come into town with your little satchel and you're like, want an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, and they're like, welcome friends, sit down at the bar, you want a drink? And you're like, sure, I love a drink. And you're like, awesome, have a drink, drink up, you hungry, get you hungry, you want a girl, here's a girl, sit down, drink up, you want a room, here's a room, in the morning, here's your bill. I didn't know I was going to get a bill. Well, we have a ship and you're going to go work on it until you pay this off. But every meal on the ship and the room on the ship, and that costs a little bit of money too. So it's like the exact same way our prison system's kind of set up
Yeah.
now.
Period.
And then after you get out of prison, you have to pay your parole officer. So if you're trying to be honest and get on your feet, they're like, let's set the world up against you. And it's like, I don't know. And everyone just is like,
Or
you did bad things, you should serve bad time. And it's like, you guys, we're conspiracy theorists. You think all the judges and DAs have been honest people throughout time, or do you think they've just been letting off human traffickers and putting good people behind bars?
a lot of people too, after they get out of prison and they serve their prison sentence, they have fines that they have to pay to the government. So like $150,000 that, money that they'll never be able to pay back.
Yeah.
It's wild.
To just owe.
Yeah.
And then mess up. Like, I was looking up statistics of things, and if you're a horrible person, horrible stuff should happen to you. I really don't give a shit. But I was looking up statistics of the amount of innocent people that serve time, that die, like get the electric chair, get like executed, and it is so racist and socioeconomic based on poor people. If you cannot afford a defense, you are going to whatever is most cost effective for the state. And if somebody's running for office, you're going to get fucked.
Yeah. Oh God.
And
Yeah.
if someone's running for office, they might create a serial killer out of it.
Well, I like this idea that they want to push the death penalty for sexual predators.
Deviants and shit.
I love it.
I'm not anti, like, there's certain things I'm like, what are we going to rehabilitate about you? Like,
No.
and if how many lives do you get to ruin? It's not always death. It's not always death. Like, how many lives do you get to ruin? How many lives do you get to touch?
Yeah.
That
Death.
eventually, like,
They need to stop fucking around or they will find out. I love this idea.
what about if
Like-
we put them in Palestine? Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I mean, that's the only way I think it'll like.
What
help.
about Venezuela? Can we send them? Is it the Ecuadorian prison?
No, let's send them to Greenland, like Betty White said.
I know, that was so crazy, bro.
Mhm.
That was so weird.
You know, what happened with the whole Betty White situation? Didn't we kill her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And we killed her. Why? Because
That's
she's a witch.
That's why the Pope too.
Mm-hmm.
I just want everyone to know. So was my thing too with the Venezuelan coin. Where is the Pope from?
Mm.
Venezuela.
Mm.
And so then he goes into the hospital and he has like bronchitis or some shit. I don't know. I can look it up. Let's put it in my trusty tracking device, Pope, in my Google.
I just want this control to stop. I have such PTSD from all this control. It's like too much control here. Can't say this, can't do that, blah, blah, blah. Can't park here.
Look at
Like,
bronchitis. And isn't it funny? Like he has bronchitis, the diagnostics, I don't know, but like and how they're like pushing this fucking idea, like, just so you know, flu is on the rise for the first time since pre-COVID.
wow.
Isn't that like, people are so crazy. No one's getting COVID vaccines. Let's switch it up.
Well, I know it has a lot to do with the fog for sure. Because once this fog settles and you look at your car after you just washed it, like literally, I just washed my car the other day, like inside out, like I detailed the fuck out of it. And then this fog came, and I don't know, the next day, the driplets of all that fogness or whatever the hell that thing was, in between the streaks, you could see this dust on there. Like this.
Oh my gosh. So this is my new favorite thing. So I just put in weird fog, Layla. That's it. And then my first news story, I just clicked on it and it said, look at weird, in quotes, fog hits Florida and it smells supposedly defies description.
Oh, I remember Layla talking about that.
Yes.
It smells like burnt electricity to me.
Look at what this is just from like 17 hours ago.
I'm telling you.
Layla, is it you?
Strange.
You wrote that.
It says a dense fog has descended on the state of Florida, which according to locals is accompanied by a strange smell. In an array of social media posts, residents in the Sunshine State have described its unusual odor, with several claiming it's unlike any fog have seen, smelt before.
I'm telling you. It smells like, let's say, you know, on a thunderstorm, you're out in the field and you smell this like electricity. You smell, I don't know how to explain it. It just smell like burnt. Or
it's so weird. If you go into a sweat lodge, there's like a specific smell of a sweat lodge. And so when my wife had the like bath and body company, she was like, we were trying to like the one when you go into like Indian reservations and where they actually do like a legitimate sweat lodge with the tent and stuff. There's probably a real name and you guys will tell me. But whatever they burn in there is a specific kind of wood and it has a specific kind of smell.
Turkish bath houses or no?
I don't know what's in those, maybe similar. But the wood that they burn in there is specifically wood from a specific kind of forest that's struck by lightning. And it's for some spiritual purposes.
Oh my God. I don't know why I got this thought, but that whole fucking conspiracy of like the new king, what was that? Hallett. Gregory Hallett, there you go. It came to my head. But this whole fucking thing, they created this story. I don't know if it's true or not, but they had this massive tree on their property and this lightning struck it. And then the piece of wood that fell off looked like Anubis and it turned into the shape of Anubis. And they're like, this is how we know that he's the true king. And look at the sign. This is a sign from the Almighty. And I'm like, wow, this is like fascinating. But I don't know why my brain went there. But
I have no idea what you're talking about. If I put his name, will it pull it up?
Yeah, remember Gregory Hallett? This like was going around and saying he's the true king, and then he had documents with the whole blood print thumb from the queen.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I ever went down this whole like I gave it no credence at all. Like
what was it? Aranga, Aranga, something like that. Their whole slogan or part of that was that. And yeah, he on the documents though was very interesting with Queen Elizabeth and the whole blood print and the factual facts. Apparently, according to them, there was a cutout on the pages of a
Well, I
white
mean, to
rabbit.
be fair, they aren't the real king.
But this
So-
is the whole psyop that
Joseph
he is.
Gregory Hallett, King
And
John
this,
III, the hidden king, and
there's a whole
look
documentary that
at
you can watch.
the Mashiach or Christ Messiah.
I am the Messiah. And he's from Scotland or something like that. And he goes to these ley line points and he said, this is how this is related to me. And he says who they are and how that's related to him and how he's the rightful heir to the kingdom. And he has the documents to prove it. And he tries to fight it in court or something like that. But some of y'all might know about this whole Gregory Hallett conspiracy.
Hitler was a British agent, he says.
I know he talks about Trump too. And this was tying
Look at
together
this.
with
This
Iran.
is really interesting right here because something is so amiss with them. Hallett claims that the Rothschilds purchased breeding rights to the royal family.
Yeah.
As part of a series of dodgy deals.
You have to watch it. It's actually pretty fascinating. And that was the time during when they removed the crest from the kingdom for a while. Remember that when that whole scenario happened, when that viral video of some kid jumping out of the royal kingdom with a
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the emblems of the gate of the kingdom were taken down, and everyone's like, "Oh, the new king is coming! The new king is coming!" And this whole fucking scenario came out. Yeah, I
But
was
look
in
at
deep.
look at this. Some of this stuff, it's like, yep, George Soros for orchestrating the Black Lives Matter protest. And then
He talked
claims
about
that
everything.
vaccines do absolutely nothing apart from just kill people. An accusation that Bill Gates is the biggest international criminal in the world. Oh my gosh, this guy's my king. I don't know if
I'm
he's
telling
the
you.
king, but he's my king.
He had a lot of people in his grasp, and I think it's what 777, something to do with the 777. And you know how they have that character on X who posts everything about like Trump and the 777, how that's the actual number of the Antichrist and blah blah blah. You remember that shit? The whole 777 and Monster.
Yeah, but they're not sevens. They're like a Jewish, like
yeah. Mhm.
something.
I
Yeah.
forgot which
The
letter.
UFC just signed a new deal
Are you
with
talking about-
Monster.
Oh, Monster is 666 actually. The Jewish 666.
Yeah, but it just looks like a 7.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's like people that are like, it's a 7. Like
Oh,
the
that's
7
very
is just a
true.
symbol.
Yeah, apparently, Tunnel, he was talking about the fact that he doesn't want to become king and he just wants to dissolve like that whole idea of a kingdom and just like, sovereignty and people being sovereign and how to become sovereign with your, and it goes
Well,
into
if we're going to play in an idea of a last president, my biggest spell I ever did is called a pope, a president, and a king. And I felt like it would be so symbolic if at the same time, if we're just going to go back to being a republic with 50 United States with representative from those states there and all the Fed dissolves, then why can't their monarchy dissolve? Or why can't other people's dictatorships dissolve? Like it kind of is the same way. I just feel like, I don't know. Why does there just get to be one winner if we're all in this collectively together?
that.
And that not in a
Then the
socialist
Vatican.
way, but yeah, like fuck the Vatican, fuck the royals, fuck the governments.
Yeah. Why can't we just all make a deal that, hey, each person gets this land, each last name, bop, 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 bop. This is yours. And everybody do what you will. If you want to create a building on it, create a building. If you want to create a shop, create a shop. You want to, whatever the fucking case may be. I feel like that would be
What
a great
about tits
idea.
out for Trump?
Tits out for Trump. I like that.
I'm just kidding.
Mine are kind of out today.
I just put up the good
I didn't have
secret
anything
society
red.
good guys.
This is the only thing red.
Oh, I think it's perfect.
My boobs are out like
It's
majorly.
sexy.
I know.
Yeah,
You're
you look
hot.
nice.
Thanks.
You look loverly. Oh my gosh. Happy Valentine's Day, chat and audience. Anyone who might want it if you care about that. So what about the ritual of Valentine?
I love it. But it should be every day. Not every day, but like show each other that you love them and make each other feel special every day, not just one day or certain days. That would be a nice ritual if we all just shared each other in that way, make every day Valentine's Day for each other. Treat it like it.
That every day is Valentine's Day. But your roses
get
really
depressed on
smell like
Valentine's
poo
Day.
poo poo. I don't know. Isn't it a whole like ritual though? Isn't there
Saint Valentine. There's
what's the
also
lore Abbie behind Valentine's Day?
something about like somebody getting beheaded or two people getting beheaded on that day, and they
massacre.
yeah, something like that.
No, I've heard of some. Yeah, like the Valentine's Day massacre. Let's see what's this one.
And it's not romantic. The Saint Valentine of it all is not romantic.
No. But they turned it into one.
And it's so weird too, you guys. I'm just like, I'm so I know I can just put it in because I feel like there's an actual other holiday that it's on too. I just can't remember the name of it. But of course, it's not going to pull up on this shadow box. And I know I could put all these kind of HPVs onto my HPVNs onto my computer, but it messes with the stream sometimes with StreamYard. And now, or not StreamYard, Restream. So I also think you said Cupid. Isn't it weird that Cupid is always a child? Like, isn't that just a weird like if Cupid's just a different angel or like another winged being, isn't it
A naked
curious?
child too, usually. Like, I
Yeah,
know he's
like
in diapers, but usually he has the naked butt.
yeah, and so if we have all these Cupids right now, like, "Ooh, Saturn's coming. Saturn can't wait to come and chew those wings off." It's just a little wild.
I don't know why they do these things. Like, out of all the objects that you could like put to symbolize Valentine's Day, you choose a child bare bottomed with a bow and arrow. Like, what's the purpose of that? Like, how is that romantic in any way?
Sorry. I feel like no joke, like right now where we're just talking about a rocket scraping off the firmament. I feel like X just shot off a rocket because I feel like there's so much reverb going on in my house that is like so weird. It's the only logical reason is some from Kennedy Space Center must have just shot off into the ocean.
Or
We were kind of having the same thing, but I guess it was just the wind.
or it could be dues.
SpaceX, or it could finally be here. And here's Bluebeam. No, maybe it wasn't SpaceX. Yeah, it is live. It is SpaceX.
Okay.
7th flight test.
What are they doing up there, y'all? It's not what they're showing you.
Here, look. This is so wild that this is even an option. It's just like, hey, look at Layla. Look at that.
Wow.
That's what.
That looks so real.
And 744. But yeah, so however long it took. And look at this one's coming back.
Why don't they ever show that way? The other way.
Pointed up. They turn the camera around.
Uh-huh. Is that it?
Pointed at the firmament.
Uh-huh.
Look at it. It's landing on a launch pad in the ocean. It's not landing back at NASA.
Oh, it's just a test run. Okay, I see. Oh, and they cut the camera. Ooh, okay. Why do they
Well,
do
no,
that?
I've seen those things come back. That's the wildest part. I've actually seen them come back. It's like it needs the extra boost until the atmosphere gets thin enough. And then this thing can push it like hyper gear when it's lighter, when the atmosphere, like you're saying, how it's almost like the water gets thin, 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 thin. And then at some point it turns into a different kind of water.
Yo,
Like,
dude, you have to look at the videos of SpaceX versus boat on water and the trails that it leaves and
oh
how
yeah, I've seen
fucking
it.
identical it becomes. It's so mind-boggling. I'm just like, dude, there is water up there. What water? I don't know,
But
but
just I'm just saying in
yeah,
flight, at some point, it gets thinner in atmosphere. Like, that's
yeah.
what like, the thing about, like, 9/11, the planes coming down and flying like that at a certain angle and then being like, "We were new pilots, we could just fly through that, like, "Wee!"
Uh-huh.
It's like the atmosphere is so dense there compared to what those planes are used to, like, maneuvering,
Yeah,
like, up high.
yeah,
So, it's just, like, I feel like it gets, but you know how you said, like, we were talking about how there's more than one type of water in our body?
uh-huh.
And so it's like, or you know how you
Lot
talk about the
ness.
ocean? How even in the ocean, there's, like, water inside water? And so why couldn't it be the same almost, where it's, like, gets thin, 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 and then turns into a different kind of,
Of water structure, yeah.
but
I
the
mean, we have
firmament idea is
ice.
so weird. Like, just it's just an idea that, like, what a weird word to pick.
Yeah. Firm, ament, filament, cement,
Isn't
ment.
it so weird that ice fell out of the sky and we've been talking over and over again for 2 weeks, 3 weeks about, Interstellar, and when they fly into the planet that is just slow in time with the waves, it might be Saturn. I don't know, one of the moons is Saturn, maybe. But when they go into that planet, that, when they hit one of the clouds going in, the planet itself is so cold. Maybe it's Mars. I can't remember what planet now, but the planet itself is so cold that the clouds are frozen. And so the side of their ship hits a part of a cloud and a chunk of it actually falls off like
Yeah,
hard, like ice.
yeah,
So then it's like, oh, what if it's water, but cold water? Like they keep trying to get us to think that like the North Pole, it's freezing cold, the South Pole, freezing cold. But what about the old stories of hell was that it wasn't hot, that it was cold.
yeah. And that
So
the pressure of the North and South Pole are different. Like, man, in order to have like pressure systems, you need to like, man, you need a barrier, whether it's a bag, whether it's like vacuum, like you need a barrier for
I believe
things
Elon's doing
like
something or NASA. I believe they're doing something. I just don't know what they're up to. Like,
I don't know either. I don't get it. Is it what Hillary's been saying? We've cracked the highest glass ceiling. We've cracked the highest glass ceiling. Cunt. Oh,
but then I kind of really wonder about
frazzle
the
dazzle.
beanstalk idea. Like, here we are thinking we're all innocent. Of course, we're gonna write a book that we're innocent, and those brutes came down and they slept with the daughters of man. But what about if our little Jeet and butt plug selves, we just crawl up the beanstalk, steal, the harp, and we're like, "See you later, alligator."
We're like a crystalline harp, if you think about it.
And they're like, "These thieving humans." Like, that was our advancement, is that we stole it from them. And they're like, "We were gonna help advance you. Now we're not gonna help anymore. You guys are gonna have to reach us by yourself, and once you can reach us by yourself, then we'll come back and help you again. But you guys were dicks."
Jeez Louise.
That's a whole nother I just made up a whole different story. Hey,
You know?
humanity, you guys were little dicks. You climbed up the beanstalk, and you're little thieving dicks.
Mm-hmm.
And you were a dick the first time when you sold your mom's only source of food for magic beans. So you're just
Mm-hmm.
a double dick.
Mm-hmm.
You're a double dick down.
You know who I think we're gonna
That
hear
doesn't sound like
more?
a bad thing to be.
No, I just got double dick down that night, girl. Irish handcuffs? Not like that. No, it's Chinese handcuffs. Irish handcuffs are when you're walking with 2 drinks in your hand.
You know who I think we're gonna hear more in the news? Random as fuck, but it popped into my head. Ray Chandler.
Ray Chandler, child handler.
Yeah, I think we're gonna hear and see a lot about her soon.
Well, did you guys hear rumor that Trump had the Epstein files? Like the White
Yeah.
House had the Epstein files in their hand?
Yeah, and that they're gonna release them in the next 10 days or something like that. That's what I heard and saw.
Hanks.
Tom Hanks plasma bag.
I know Rachel Chandler for sure with her human trafficking high escort
Mhm.
agency. I feel like a lot more people that they would never guess are like I believe like Ray J is a drug dealer, and a lot more people are like Heidi Fleiss, like Rachel Chandler, like modeling agencies they're really just human, like Victoria's
Right.
Secret
Yeah.
is just a high price call girls.
You know, what was hilarious that happened this week? Elon's dad on a podcast talking about how Michelle Obama's a man. Like legit out of his fucking mouth. He's like, yeah, did you not see what was her name? Joan Rivers? He's like, yeah, after 2 weeks she said it. Oh yeah, Michelle Obama's a tranny. 2 weeks later, dead. Why do you think that is? She's definitely a man. I was like, oh my God, Elon Musk's dad is fucking, I love it. Balls. Got fucking balls to say it.
Did you see her and Obama like tweet happy Valentines at each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the media ran with, they put a quell to the rumors that they're splitting up, and because look at what they tweeted out. And then all the comments in every one of those posts are like, we want to hear about Jennifer Aniston though, boo. It's like, why are we the one running with all this story? Why this is being quieted and they're not saying anything about, like, this is entirely.
It makes sense that Obama and what's her face would be going out.
It makes
Jennifer
sense. I
Aniston.
just feel like the
She makes the
news is
best
so propaganda.
pizzas,
Everything
apparently.
is us now. Like, we're the ones saying everything. They're like, we're going to tell you partial truth.
Yeah, so it's like she makes the best pizzas. There's video clips of her talking on Ellen DeGeneres, Adam Sandler, in in a weird interview clip of
Yeah.
like just
She's
it's
Greek.
there. And he bought how many hot dogs and hamburgers for a party?
Like $60,000 worth.
Yeah, walnut sauce and all of that with the Podestas and Marina Abramovich. And these weird parties and these code words for like, 7, 14, and 12. Like, how, like, are you kidding me? And then, what was it? Wikipedia decided to take all that information out.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Did you laugh at this?
Yeah.
Oh my
So, yeah.
gosh. I don't know. I think it'll be.
Did you
And then, go on. What? Say it.
did you guys see that the person who had the rape case against Jay-Z and Diddy dropped it?
Dude, same brain. Like,
What
I
do you
was
mean?
like, say it. And I'm typing it. I'm going to pull it up while you say it.
That's
and I knew
it.
you were going
They
to
dropped
say
the
it.
case, and Jay-Z's like,
Walgreens,
"See,
get
we
out of here
won."
tracking me at my every move.
And I wanted to like get down about it, and I was like, no, I'm not, because this is just one little thing. This don't matter, really. Like, this doesn't mean that it's not going down.
No, because this
That
is
gives
just
them a little safety thing that makes them think maybe they're not. But
I think this civil lawsuit is bullshit, and it was just set up so it could be like, see everyone, I
He's
didn't
a
do
good guy.
this shit.
Yeah.
Like, almost like and then when you try to look up anything about Jay-Z and Sean Combs in the next 3 days, people are gonna be
What's
like, no, I thought
involvement?
I thought that was fine.
Yeah.
A civil case. It means
Civil suits are such
nothing.
bullshit.
It means nothing.
It doesn't mean anything.
Obama, Michael Obama.
He's a weird one.
Big Mike, though. Big Mike is a big bitch. Like, sometimes certain chicks, like, I'll just call out different politicians and I'll like randomly online, I'll talk shit and I'll be like, me and you, let's box for charity. Just it'll just be early morning, or maybe I stayed up for too many days. And it's just funny to me. Maybe nobody sees it, but I never try that shit with Big Mike because I don't want to get beat up by a man. I'll
Yeah,
never try that shit. I never
You don't
write
want
it
to be
at Big Mike.
manhandled?
I don't want to be manhandled by, but Big Mike's a big bitch. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I always think of this picture, and I know T. Woods is not the tallest guy, but Tyron Woodley, he fought at 170 pounds in the UFC. And when he was not fighting, he probably walked around at 200, clean, like easy. Let me see. Tyron Woodley. And I know I've pulled this up before, but it just haunts my brain that I'm like, ooh, I wouldn't fuck with. Oh my gosh, I put it in Big Mike. I'm like, why can't I pull up this picture? Because it's Michelle Obama. Oh, this is so amazing. They knew exactly what I needed. You guys, why don't I show you this? This is a UFC fighter.
Dude,
What the like, what in the hell?
that's a them they.
Like, even if Big Mike's in heels, like, good night. Like, T. Woods, look at his arms. Like, you guys can all go look him up. Like, he's a big dude, like a strapping young buck. Well, he's
Yeah,
not
she's
young
almost
anymore,
as
but-
tall as Donald Trump, no?
Big Mike. We should have a
Or
picture.
Barron.
Somebody should make a meme if you guys are meme lords. If you make it and put it in Telegram, or you tag one of us on X, and I'll find it. When you make it, write something in the comments, and you should put Barron Trump walking next to Big Mike, like so tall next to everybody else. Because I just feel like he genuinely is tall, and it's not said how tall she is enough.
Mm,
Yeah.
Nephilim.
That's real life right there. Because you know what they say. Ugh. Ugh. I just get that, like, I can't, I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to put the gross words in your head. But you know what, Layla?
Huh.
Pussy.
Yeah.
That's what I think of. A real lady's vagina is called a pussy.
Pussy.
A fake Big Mike vagina is called a pussy. But that's as gross as I'll get with it, because it
Nah, they
really
gotta
grossed me out.
hash
in my
it out,
head.
right?
Wrong word. Wrong word. A man who hated women created that word.
Oh, you guys, just so you know, our sweet lump, Paranoid American, is hanging out with his lady lump for Valentine's Day.
That's sweet.
So
He's being a good boyfriend.
yeah, we're not jealous.
No.
We're happy. So yeah, just so you know, Thomas will be back next week, and we miss him and love him. And if you are new here, hit the like and subscribe and thumbs up, or whatever channel you're finding it, or just follow everyone on the stage, or you can go get a cool sticker from paranoidamerican.com.
Hey, he has incredible stuff on there.
He has all cool stuff. And on his Rumble, or if you're part of his channel, you can watch the episode that me and him did, Real Housewives.
It was good, huh? I still haven't gotten a chance to watch it.
I haven't either. I have no
Yeah.
idea. I have no idea yet. But
Maybe I'll
I
watch
just,
it tomorrow.
yeah, who knows? I'm excited though. But maybe whenever the premiere happens on YouTube, I'll save it to watch, and I'll watch it in the room with them. I like forgetting part of it,
Yeah.
because half the time I'm like, oh, not that name. It's a whole different name. You know, like you say something wrong if you watch yourself back, and you're like, what was I? That was the whole wrong
Yes.
name. I'm going on and on about like.
I do that all the time.
So stupid. I know. It's interesting if somewhere the Spencers, Diana's womb, the Churchill womb. So Winston Churchill's like this huge figure. Why her womb? And it didn't matter. It was just her bloodline that was important. But I don't think the older sister was a virgin, because it was supposed to be the older sister that was married off to Charles.
Huh.
Diana just fit the bill at a certain point, but it was supposed to be the sister. And Diana was like, I don't know, young. But when her and Charles started dating, he was in his early 20s probably, and she was like 16 or 17.
They dated, or was it just
It was
like
arranged.
arranged shit?
It was
Yeah.
totally arranged. And it was supposed to be her sister, though, I feel like, for a couple of
Mhm.
years. Like, it wasn't just,
Huh.
yeah. And then it was Diana.
So in royal weddings, do you think that they still watch them fuck the first time? Like,
Ooh, that's a good question. I wonder.
I
No, I don't
know.
think anymore.
To make sure they consummate.
To consummate the
It
marriage, yeah.
seems like it's all that kind of creepy, though.
I think they probably have to,
I
right?
think everything why would it like, we're moving into the 19th century. I no longer want my bath girls. Like, it just seems like it
I no
every
longer want
day.
the person to wipe my ass.
Yeah, like you have everyone, like your sheets are always just done. They pull them down and there's somebody to always like tight. The clothes have changed, but it seems like they're still creepy. Like, I think
I wonder if they.
Diana, her father, I actually feel like was Lord of the Stool or some shit. And he was actually in charge of emptying
yeah.
the shitter. Like,
Hmm.
that was how he got his lordship. And it's probably like all a little messy, but something
What
like that.
you think that they don't dress them like that? They dress themselves. I feel like they don't
I don't
dress
think they
themselves.
yeah,
No.
I know.
I
They
think the
don't.
same exact thing that happened, like it like used to be they tied them up. Now they're just putting a jacket on or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything. Cause even remember when we just saw when Sausage Fingers, when he's just becoming the king and he sits down at the desk and he's about to sign all the stuff and the pin wasn't in the right spot, how he didn't really even know what to do. Like, put it here. Like, they probably never, ever, ever have to worry about anything ever not being like, if they want
Everything's
milk,
in
they get
place.
that as easy as a letter opener.
Yeah. Could you imagine having to like lose your virginity in front of like your whole family and a bunch of
They
fucking
still
people
do
just
that.
watching you? Yeah,
They
that's
do
so
that in
fucking weird.
gypsy culture. They do in some Albanian cultures. Like they'll put a rag. Typically in Albanian tradition, they'll put like a white towel underneath, and then you do whatever you do, and then the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law come in there and like check the towel to see if there was blood stains on there. It's like, oh, and they take it out and they're like, yay, she was a virgin. And if she wasn't, the choice is up to the husband if he wants to keep her or send her back home. And if they send her back home, that's like she's shamed for like not being pure for the husband and being like a little
Oh shit.
dirty
Okay.
girl.
My mom had this thing like in her jewelry and she called it her virgin pin. And I was like, what's a fucking virgin pin? But it was
Interesting.
like this long pin and it had like a peridot on the end. But I'm like, what if virgin pins were to poke yourself to make yourself bleed in case you weren't a virgin?
Yeah,
Huh.
it was like your way,
So you
like,
could bleed.
just in case, bitch,
Yeah.
keep that in
Here's your
there.
virgin pin. I
How
was
do
like,
you
what's
do
a I've
that?
always wondered
Where
what
do
a
you
fucking
pierce yourself? Ow.
well, I don't know. I'm just thinking like, why do they call it why was it called a virgin pin? Like, I guess you gave it to a man when you lost your virginity, but that doesn't seem right either because she still had it.
No, yeah, you give it to a man when you lost your virginity because you no longer need to pretend.
I need to look this up.
That's
Like,
kind of
it's plagued me forever until just now. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Maybe that's what the virgin pin was for.
you know what, just is just off topic and it probably has nothing to do with nothing. Why do we stick pins in a little tomato? Why do all of our like the sewing kits like
Why
nothing's
are they?
why is it
Tomatoes
a
or strawberries?
tomato? It's like, are we making the little voodoo tomato doll? Is that why
Yeah.
all of our tomatoes suck? These are the weird thoughts that go on in my brain, you guys. Is this a
Why
little
are they?
You're
voodoo
not alone.
tomato?
I wonder that all the time. Every time I see them, I'm like, why are they all tomatoes?
Like a pin cushion would be the name
How
of
about a
that.
fucking
And I'd
apple?
be like, so you'd be like, Chaney, will you go get my pin cushion? And I'd be like, your voodoo tomato? I got you.
Didn't you see that whole lady who went viral stabbing her little voodoo doll in the Super Bowl, number 15? I forgot what player that was, and she went viral on fucking TikTok. She was on the news, and he was actually not feeling well. He was not performing like how he used to. So she went viral for that, and she's from, I think, Louisiana, and they are like real serious about the voodoo shit. let me not call it shit, but the voodoo stuff. So she's just sitting there during the fucking Super Bowl,
Yeah.
just pinning it, tick, 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 tick,
Huh?
tick,
Because
tick,
then
tick,
the
like a
year
mad woman.
before, like if they show us it went viral, the year before they showed us that voodoo water, that death proof water that
Mhm.
they put, like they had a big Super Bowl ad, like
Yeah.
where they were like pushing all that. Huh? They want us to have a little voodoo. When did that girl say this motherfucker is not real? How long has that been?
That motherfucker is not real. 2
Let's look her
years?
I
up.
feel like sometime after we started Secret Society of Good Guys, because we made fun of it for quite a while. Because I remember Chaney going, "That is not real."
9 months ago.
That
Oh wait,
motherfucker
this
is not
one,
real.
1 year ago. I want to know the date.
Right?
Date.
She said that motherfucker is not real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
I wonder if they had a coin based off of her.
January
that time.
13th, 2024.
Oh, last year. I was like brand new, like the new year.
She's silly. That motherfucker is not real. She should have like she should have got that. Like
Yeah,
that's hot.
trademarked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Fucking A.
That motherfucker is not real.
She was like Hawk Tua before Hawk Tua.
And demure.
Yeah. She was
Demure.
like, that's why I'm like, they Bernie mitten these people for us. They octopus teacher us. Like
Yeah.
they're like, here, this is viral.
That motherfucker is not real.
Did we ever hear from a whole bunch of other people that were on the plane with her?
Yeah.
Or like
some
one person?
Different stories, too. Like some was like terrified at what she could have saw or wasn't sure what they saw. Some said that she was delusional and drunk. I heard so many different versions. It was like CIA written all over that.
Like a mess.
All over, yeah.
I'm surprised she hasn't released an official coin.
Right?
Like everywhere. I'm surprised. What's that bitch's name?
Where is
I
she?
just looked it up. I think it was Tiffany something. I just looked it up. Anyways, that's so funny. Like, can you imagine though? Let's just play in a world where like really things are happenstance and like that bitch just had like a Xanax, and you know how on Bridesmaids your friend just takes one too many pills with alcohol at altitude. Like I've had friends that have gotten I smoke with them all the fucking time, but on an airplane, for some reason, that edible hits them in a way that I'm like, bitch, you talking crazy right now. Like, girl.
Like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, like sometimes
You
you
know?
talk to people on an airplane, but I've gotten like altitude sickness before. So I don't know what, but people get anxiety sometimes. I've seen people have like seizures or just pass out from anxiety.
Some people have taken acid on fucking plane rides. I'm like, are you how? Like, I'd be paranoid as fuck with all those people around me and like unfamiliar energies. Like, I'm so aware of that. Like, I could not. And they purposefully take this shit on a plane. I'm like, oh my God.
I have no gives a fuck about being in the sky at that high and anything weird or crashing into a thing. That is not what scares me on an airplane.
Yeah, no, not that.
I'll tell you for real.
People.
This is what, I hear all these people.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And it's just like, and then, okay, that's going on. And then it's like loud outside, this like, like the whole time. And then inside,
Yeah.
and it's those little fucking things all blowing.
They'd have to land the plane if it were me.
I get so claustrophobic sometimes. Like I've had to breathe in a bag before on an airplane. Like breathe in a bag. Like I'm gonna have the fucking weird panic attack about being in this tube in the sky, where they were like, look at this crazy guy, he kicked the window out. This motherfucker's not real, is not my thing. That's not, but I'm the person that I'm like, I don't want to be on too many pills and be like, I gotta get out of this tube, kick the window in. Like, so that's like, where I'm like, where people are
zannied up and you're
I
like,
get myself at the airport. I haven't slept for a day, and then I took a Xanax and I drank. I'm like, oh boy.
I like flying. Some people hate it. I love it. I like the whole idea of getting on a plane. It's just like,
I like
I
airports.
just want to get the fuck out of wherever I'm at.
It's the right
I just want to
vibe.
go. Yeah, I love it. But now I don't trust it so much. So I'm like,
It-
like
do we believe it all though? Like,
I don't know,
They
man.
don't
yeah,
want us to
airplanes
fly.
crashing into each other just this week too again, right? I mean, what the fuck?
Wasn't there like a jet that went into the water on the shores of like San Francisco or something?
Airplane. I'm just putting the word airplane, and then I'm
A jet, a
heading
military
for the
jet.
news.
I think it was a
Equipment
military jet.
malfunction. Let's see. Let's look together. Equipment
In
malfunction.
San Diego.
Dropped messages. Looked at.
And if you see
Oh,
how
this is by the Black Hawk helicopter because they came out with that.
So yeah, I think yesterday it was a military fighter jet crashes in San Diego Bay, and the way that it fucking crashed into the water was like high speed, like into the water.
What the fuck?
Fucking crazy. Yeah. And a military fighter jet? What?
Yeah,
Why?
that's
Why? What the fuck is going on here? I don't know.
What am I doing right now? Seaplane spot 4 days ago. Ultra rare seaplane spotted over San Francisco. Philippine Mars World Era flying boat historic flight re-engine. Dude, they changed the. I can't find it.
What?
Fishing boat rescue aviators after Navy jet crashes into San Diego. San Diego. I put in San Francisco. Let's see. San Diego. San Diego. Whale's vagina.
I love San Diego.
San Diego Bay crash. Now I just have to see it now. It's become like my brain can't let it
Dude.
go.
Wild video.
Okay, 15 hours ago. This is the one. Okay. We'll see if we can get past. Oh, I'm so on the wrong page with you. I have the wrong page up for so long.
Oh, I love the ads. Everything's just a fucking ad. Shit's crazy.
Oh, that one's
There's
from
better.
far away.
There's better.
Yeah, that one's from far away. F that.
Mhm.
F that. That was not good at all. I'll find it quicker now next time. Now that I know what bay it's in.
Yeah. That happened. The angler fish.
Oh, that
Oh.
was really weird.
Yeah. And I thought it was huge, but apparently it's like an inch big. And people are like, I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking the things that people are like creating of like how the anglerfish like died. Like, finally, I get to see how it looks out here, and I can die peacefully knowing what was out here following the light, you know?
Is this it, Layla?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have
Like-
dramatic new video of a Navy jet that crashed into San Diego Bay. A closed-circuit TV camera captured it all. So take a look.
Oh
The two
my
crew members
gosh.
on board were able to eject before the plane hit the water. They were quickly rescued by a sport fishing boat and are reportedly in stable condition. The Navy says the
Nice.
crash happened as they were performing a go-around maneuver in which the plane landed and was taking off again. But so far, it is not.
Dude, I think remote control shit is happening.
They're doing some Top Gun shit.
They're
don't
doing in the beginning of that movie that we love, that we recently watched type shit, where he takes over the drone, hacking the drone, hacking the planes.
Hack the Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the movie Hackers? Angelina Jolie.
What movie did we watch recently? They went to space.
Interstellar.
There you go. In the beginning, remember?
Oh yeah, everything's a big hack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that drone. And I don't remember. There was something else about that drone. I ended up watching something that it was like a director's cut of Interstellar, or what the director wanted to do. There was something that drone was supposed to be used for. The drone was supposed to be the thing, however, that was carrying the message at the beginning that they found together. That was supposed to be the thing, whatever the pulse was in it, and they ended up keeping it in for some reason and making it the watch instead. But it was supposed to be the drone originally. And so I was like, huh. So look we have these drones coming in all over that everyone's like, these aren't drones. These are weird. Who's controlling these? What government are these from? And so I was like, oh, what if the drones have a message? Drone is such a weird word.
Drone on.
Yeah. Dr. One.
What else is happening in the world? We talked about
the anglerfish.
Okay, that's a train this time. I was like, what the hell, you guys? They can't. Anglerfish.
Anglerfish. Oh my God. So like ugly,
It's
but
the ugliest
cute.
thing I ever seen.
It's so tiny. And I thought this like huge monster exists down there, but it's this little fucking thing. It's so cute.
I know. I always thought anglerfish were bigger.
Yeah, I thought they were ginormous. In that video, it looked huge. But I guess that's our brains.
Today, China dominates steel production, but
China.
Daddy Trump, baby.
Mute the commercial. Why is this coming on my algorithm? Just kidding. We all know why.
President Trump to fight back against China's
that's me. I want it go. Oh, it has 13 more seconds. Sorry, you guys. This is a free commercial that we're getting from the steel workers right now.
U.S. made. I like the sound of that, baby. U.S. Steel.
All right, here. Oh, let me mute it again. We'll probably get pulled down from that song. We're just going to get into all sorts of trouble on YouTube tonight.
Look at it. Zoom in.
That's the ugliest thing you have ever seen in your life.
It's creepy.
So
it's just a head. It just needs a neck right here.
Didn't they say Hecate or something? Or I forgot what goddess they were saying, comparing it to in old symbology.
Okay.
Hold on.
Wink.
I got that information right here.
Yuck. Yucky. But if you saw that in the ocean and it was like your size, it might even be scary if it was like a foot long. But
it would be scary at a foot long.
Yeah. If it moved its mouth. But look how its mouth is. It has to come up underneath.
Yeah.
It can't even swim at you. You're like, don't let it get under you.
It's like box fish. Like I had a longhorn cowfish in my. It was the cutest thing ever, but I could barely swim in my saltwater tank. Boxfish are cute, but like they don't make sense.
I don't know if it is AI because I remember I've seen these. They usually just far in the deep. They always stay. But the weird part that I think about it, if they usually are in the deep, it makes me wonder if something's disturbing them in the real deep, because usually they're like in the Titan deep where the Titan went.
What's the big old thing called in the ocean? The big old split thing. That's where they usually are, right?
The Marianas Trench.
Yes, they're in there. The deepest parts of the ocean.
The deepest parts of the ocean. Yeah, that's where I thought they were. So if something's disturbing them in there, it's like they're like, Godzilla's coming, you guys.
The Titans are waking up.
No, the Kraken.
Right?
Release the Kraken.
There's more than one Titan.
Leviathan.
Something.
I feel like Leviathan is unleashed in maybe in Revelation or End Times. The Bible speaks of it, but I don't know. I don't remember where.
God knows what exists down there in the abyss. In that pitch black of blackness. We don't even know what lives in the density in the deep waters. Like
it's another layer.
Yeah. Like how much percent of the deep ocean that we've discovered? Only what, 7%, 8%, something like that. It's a really tiny smidget. I think that's what they're testing. They're trying to what if they're trying to test up there because the bottom of the density of the abyss is the same as it is above? So instead of going this way, They're trying to figure out the technology just by going this way instead of going through all the layers, so they could figure out the final steps so they could penetrate all the layers.
Penetration. What about if they penetrated a layer and like that fish came from space? You know, that like Riemann sphere or like the torus field? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm almost too heady with the ocean. The ocean, though, I mean, NASA always is in there playing. They're obviously doing something with their spacesuits and down
It's
in the
almost
depths. You know,
unfathomable.
Real Riordi said The Abyss, and James Cameron too, like The Abyss as well as the Titanic. That is those same movies, you know, like they're kind of the same kind of thing. And then he's all Avatar and Avatar 2. I just feel like James Cameron, he has some intel.
Did you guys watch the movie Leviathan? It came out around the same time as The Abyss, so I'd always
Mm,
confuse the two. Leviathan was scary though. It was so good.
I
The
haven't watched.
Abyss is so good.
I don't think I watched The Abyss either.
Oh my gosh. The
It's good.
Abyss. I don't know.
So
I don't
much
know what
to
my next
watch.
old movie is that I'm going to get into and rewatch. But The
I
Abyss
should
is
find
like seared
someone
in my
who's like
brain. I almost could
into
tell it to you by
watching
heart.
movies.
What one?
I said I should find somebody who's into watching movies so I can catch up with like all the good shit that I'm missing out on. There's so much out there, bro.
You could say to on X, sell me a movie. I want to watch a movie right now. What movie
Hmm.
do you wanna watch? And someone will
Yeah,
tell you.
what's a good movie?
Yeah. And be like, here's what I'm into right now. Or you could just type in those words and someone will write something.
Bridgerton 4 is coming out. I'm so excited. I love Bridgerton. Like, I fucking love it. Huh?
Is that Downton Abbey?
Similar. It's like a modern twist on historical, like,
It's not events. It's just like, I
and
guess,
but
their own
yeah,
twist on like modern back, but in
modernized historical fiction kind of.
yeah, it's so great. I love it.
Cobra Kai, they just released the end too, so I'm
It's
gonna
the
watch
correct
that.
courting.
I've been watching This Is Us though. I think were you talking about that recently,
This Is Us.
Layla? Yeah.
I think so.
It's so freaking good. Like
Was it me?
I didn't expect it to be that good, but it's just like a really feel good show without being all like PG weird.
Was it me?
I thought it was you, but maybe not. I just started it and it's good. You should watch it.
No, it was not me. I haven't seen this yet. Mandy Moore? I like her. I don't know
Yeah.
why. She's a good actress. I
She's a
think.
tall bitch too, Mandy Moore.
She's a what bitch?
Tall.
Tall.
She's a
Yeah.
tall bitch. Mandy Moore.
She hates her feet.
I think she was an like OG model too, like child model. In the saline of it all and like in the titans of it all. And even talking about space, you know, like if the Pacific and Atlantic are here and we know like the Red Sea is a certain thing, or we know the Dead Sea is a different density in saline, or we know that, you know, like what if certain waters of the world can't mix, but also what if there's like entities that live in these things?
I
It's
think so.
crazy.
There's entities that lived in Pyramid Lake, Nevada. I freaking saw it. It's a serpent, but so I think it's everywhere. All the freaking things exist.
Like cryptids.
They exist. Yes.
What about the idea of like Aleister Crowley doing spells? Aleister, yeah. I don't know why Crowley and spells together. It sounded like I just jumbled out words. Aleister Crowley doing spells at Loch Ness or in the desert and opening up portals.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
the
like
never-ending
different
story.
entities coming out, like 11 on Stranger Things.
Yeah. It's the
Or the
never-ending
Inside Out.
story, Chaney. You know this.
Down.
Our thoughts are it. That's why we are the creators. We are the kings of this realm.
Sebastian.
Yeah. It's like once they take control of our imagination, what happens to this realm?
Demogorgons.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but maybe there is some kind of something. Like, what if it's just an energy that we hold here that nothing else can take the place of? And we always are like, when are we going to get to go up in this idea of heaven? Like this idea of death? Like, when is it? Like, when are we going? When are we going? When are we going? But what if our energy, it's so important that we didn't let anything lower up?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that movie, The Mist?
No.
Forever
Oh my
ago.
god.
That's a great
You need to watch
movie.
that. It's so good.
That's such a good movie. Yeah, I totally
The
agree.
most
It's such a
fucked
good
up ending,
movie.
it was good.
It's
It was so
the
good.
I don't want to
craziest
watch it
ending.
with all the
But
fucking
it
fog shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
opening portals, though.
I
like,
can't fog again.
yeah, like I
Loop
don't
de
want to
loo,
like
back to the fog. Fog on the
fucking
timeline.
yeah, the
I have a
anxiety
joint.
then.
Fog on the timeline. I don't have a joint rolled.
Yeah,
This is
That's,
how in real life, if you
we
guys went
know
to
what we're
college
looking
with
up
me
late.
or something, everything would be a thing that I'd be like, it's a sign. We're supposed to smoke.
That's the coin we're buying later. Fog.
fog. That ain't fog, bro. That's
That
some
ain't fog.
shit.
It ain't
That's some
fog.
technology that they know that they've had, and they know how to control it. And it has to do with the chemtrails, 110%. Because how you have fog at 3 p.m., not humid, no clouds in the sky, and just a weird fucking
The
fog.
temperature didn't crazy change.
Yeah.
I was waiting when all the fog first rolled in. I thought, oh, it's going to get cold out. We're about to get
Mhm.
super cold fast.
That was
But
not
that
the
usually
case.
doesn't happen in Florida. We usually don't get cold unless there's a storm front first.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really strange. And it came in early and stayed a long time. It didn't burn off as quick. It was weird.
And it moved like smoke.
And it's
Like
so weird when you were saying it
you
was
could
making
see
me think
it.
of the phrase London fog. And then like I don't know. It's almost like they implement these certain ideas into our zeitgeist, so we just accept this reality of things, and they like put it in movies and stuff, and we're just
Yeah.
like, okay, this is London fog.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, I don't know. What if it ain't good? And it also seems like people smoking cigarettes, if they really were trying to put stuff in your lungs all the time, they would not want you to smoke tobacco and cough it up.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like being a natural expectorant or marijuana for that matter, it's a natural expectorant, especially a lot of the terpenes in it. It seems like they would not want you to do that.
Like, did we already talk about this on here, or was it between us? Where I walked into the store, like I was in a Walmart or something, and I looked up, and I must have been by this where they sold cigarettes, and I saw the sign that said, you know, tobacco warning. It can cause secondhand smoke can cause sudden infant death syndrome and stuff. And I'm sitting there going, no, y'all, that is a back injury, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it because we've already said it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
know,
it's
isn't
like,
it so weird we can talk
how
about the
much
skies
of
being
smoking
backed?
stuff is actually just back injuries?
We can talk about chemtrails. We can talk about Frankenskies, but we can't. The second we're like, hey, maybe one of those things is bad, like, and I don't know. All the trials are over. This is the year all the trials are over for their COVID vaccine. So it's like, come on. Do I have to put peer reviewed studies?
They won't even believe the peer-reviewed
No, they
studies.
won't. Oh,
It's
I
like,
didn't even mean to press that. That was my rolling joint. But it
oh,
probably is too. But then everybody, look how quick we forgot about 5G. We were all like, 5G. And now I'm like, look at my shitty phone. It says LTE right now. I'm supposed to have 5G.
yeah, 5G. And then how our plants are growing versus organic. And organic doesn't mean that it's organic. It just means that they sprayed the pesticide versus the non-organic is where they put the pesticide in within the seed and the fertilizer and it grows into the plant. So the whole plant is a fucking pesticide. So it's fake food.
Yeah.
Food
Did
is
you
just not
Did
the
you guys see
same.
that video I sent about the Rh negative and positive and the differences in the blood? Like Rh positive people have higher iron and Rh negative people have higher copper in their blood. So they're like copper based people and they're electric. And we're like the people who have like Rh positive are magnetic. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's really freaking interesting. That's the difference between Rh negative and Rh positive.
Well, when you think about it, like the water, we were talking about the water, our water in our body. I was listening to a surgeon, I think it went pretty viral on Instagram, and they talk about when they open somebody up, you expect like we're made of 70% water, but the water that exists in us is like a gel like like a crystalline gel like water. And it is water, but it helps with the vibration of our, I think their DNA, it wraps around the DNA and it vibrates and it helps code you through your entire existence, and it vibrates constantly, that water. So we are like a crystal. Our brain is covered in crystals. Like we are crystal light beings. We're
Is
just a
it
different
this?
kind.
And I don't know if it's this at all, but is this what you're talking about? Is it H3O?
I don't know if it's
Oh,
that.
there is
It's like a
that.
gel
Like
like.
there's one place in the world where like water in the whole community just comes up like that. The H3O.
Because it's also positively charged ion that forms
Yeah.
when a water molecule combines with hydrogen ions, which is making me think like right now when you were talking about our blood being positive or negative dependent on RH and magnetic versus electric. And then I'm like, oh, how curious. And magnetic versus electric. It's almost
Yeah.
like different planet.
But sort of, but everything's like electromagnetism, like it works together too though.
But then
Yeah,
it would mean somewhere we don't have an equal amount or something.
they
It
call it
doesn't seem like
structured
a good
water.
balance.
All the water that's in our body, like around our joints and our organs, that liquid water, that gel water, it's called structured water. And it creates a network holding the water molecules together, giving it a thicker, more viscous or vicious
Viscous.
consistency compared to
It's one of
liquid
my
water.
favorite words.
I
Huh?
have a
Viscous.
I have this thing
Yeah,
in my house
viscous.
that
There you go.
restructures water.
Viscous.
I got it for 5G. It's actually supposed to mitigate some of the electromagnetic frequencies in your house, and um, it also restructures water, so you can set water next to it. You have to set it by it for 20 minutes, and then it
See, I wish there
Plasma.
was like a redneck, like a big, huge trucker, but they did tarot readings. And then one of the things they would like shill would they be like, "Oh, wait, you got to get my structured water."
Hell yeah.
But it just seems very intentional. If you look at snowflakes and all snowflakes, they're like, look at all these different patterns on snowflakes. None are the same. Then think of like every raindrop, it means it's not the same either. So whatever happens, it's like it comes down as all these different things. But whatever they're trying to do is turn it all into one shape, like some lifeless form.
Well, that's what tripped me out. So this thing like that I bought to restructure water and all of that, I thought I spent a lot of money on it. So then when I finally got it, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did this." But I plugged it in next to my bed, and it was like right, on my nightstand. So it was right next to my head. And I closed my eyes and I saw like fractals like of spinning shapes of like stars and really pretty freaking things. And I opened my eyes, I was like, "What the hell?" Closed my eyes and it happened again. I was like, "It's restructuring my water. Holy fuck." Like I believe it works. So
Structured water is ice. It's gas. Well, not really. It's structured. It's
yeah.
different forms of it.
Yeah,
How
and
many
water.
forms of water are there? It's plasma. Has to be plasma. That's what they're trying to say, but they don't want to say it.
It's all of it. Don't you remember learning that in school, all the forms of water? And it's almost like they're like, hey, there's 3 forms of water. You have 5 senses. You have 9 planets. Here's how it's like they tell you this, like they say the younger you are, the more you're learning every second of every day. And the older you get, the less you learn of that day. And so it's like those youngest impressionable brains, it's kindergarten, Kinder, we're getting these little Kinder. It's so annoying. And it like that's all the biggest lies. The younger we were, the deeper the lie was. And that's why it's so hard for us to not believe in dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's so hard because all of us and I think a lot of people, even with certain things with space or dinosaurs or whatever, it's also nostalgic. And so there's a
It
part
is.
of you and whatever you were back then, and most people, whatever in their childhood, that they're like, I remember sitting with my brother, my sister, my parent, my whatever, but it's some memory that if I don't believe in this thing anymore, it's going to somehow affect that memory. And so they become like they're nostalgic. It's implanted with this false information. And so
Mhm.
it's so tricky what the Rockefeller education system's done to all of us. And then they
So
teach you a
many
lot of
other
truths.
things.
They're like, here, look at 1 apple plus 1 apple, 2 apples.
Yeah.
What an apple, but we'll talk
It's
about
the
that.
history and science you got to be skeptical of.
We have to be skeptical of all of it at this point. Or like wherever there's control, that's of the people, that's where we need to be like questioning things. And I'm not anti-God. I'm just so like I see behind the religious structure and how they control people and how they use God against the people all the fucking time. And it's the biggest spell on humanity. And I hate it. It's like it it just destroyed so many lives and put so many, and till this day there's a war on each other, whether it's Christian versus Jewish was whether it's Jewish versus Muslim, and it's like a constant fucking game that they keep playing, and we're always fighting each other about it. And it's just, that's one of the biggest psyops for me. Not because God doesn't exist, I see God in everything, so we don't need a
It's
book
like
for that.
Shakespeare or Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, or for whatever, it feels like there's a ring of fucking power and
For
some
me,
like yeah, like what's so, and it's like, look how special we are, but why? But
thank
why?
you.
Who gives a shit about my data? They want to look up that, oh, Chaney's looking up pogo balls today, and Chaney's looking up Dionysus today, and today
Mhm.
Chaney's looking at, it's like, what? Who
Yeah.
cares? Like in the grand, well, then we can sell you more stuff. So what? You can tell me anyway. So you're
Sell me
getting
good
here
stuff,
quicker.
stuff that I am interested
Yeah,
in,
yeah, like
please.
you're okay, so you're getting here quicker, so you have more of this currency, so I'm involved in this slave system. So
We have
then
more of this
what?
stuff.
So then I'm just
Stuff
trapped in
we
this
won't.
cycle. I'm in, but
Yeah.
for what purpose? They
Yeah.
want your what? Your like your spirit. They want something else in there. It's almost like if they can create a you online, they're feeling like there must be some way for them to garnish power or gain more than just advertising in dollars. That's just so 3D. That's so 3D, you
Because if your
guys.
attention is not your own, your soul is not your own. And that's a quote from like Tufty the Priestess. And it's true though, because if you have no attention and it's engulfed in every little fucking thing and it's constantly taken from you, you are not in control of your reality fucking at all. Like not at all.
I don't know.
You don't own your soul.
I wonder what the purpose of water is with like dreams. And I wonder, no, I mean,
Emotion.
I wonder how much dreams can affect real life. Like, they said like men who stare at goats or 11, how she would go and she could like spy in kind of like a, what kind of astral travel kind of way.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if they could also speak or incept, like Inception kind of idea, but maybe in like real time because they're dreaming or in a float tank like 11 or like men who stare at goats, but they're like, oh, I'm in this room now. Okay, but you have to get them to stop the war now.
Mm.
Like you have to say the thing or grab the pen or move the clock or whatever the little tiny task is. Like we always think of things of time travel or interdimensional, but what about if it's like inner dreams? And some people are just like going to sleep at certain times and being able to pick a spot in not just the dimension, but in time, and then being able to incept a message in the same sort of way. Or would it matter at that point?
I think incepting messages, yeah, I think it's but it's hard to manipulate matter. Like that's it's not impossible, but it's pretty because your astral self doesn't have physical matter, like your dream body. But yeah,
We are
definitely
all mad here.
possible. It's being done.
Oh yeah, if you're just
welcome
turning
to-
on this for the first time, like I told somebody in a chat room something very normal the other day that I was just like, well, I mean, I do remember the speech that DJT gave that he said, I mean, if you're going to get vaccinated, at least get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That way you only have to get just one.
Mhm.
And so I remember that being a thing, and I relayed that to somebody in just a random chat room. And the next day somebody said, my wife said you were talking about some crazy thing in here that a spirit said the Johnson & Johnson
The spirit?
whatever. Yeah, I said Donald Trump said it in a speech. Like,
Wow,
telephone is awful.
that is
But
awful.
I'm looking up this real quick to pull up here as well. Boom, boom, boom. And it says water has 3 classical states, solid, liquid, gas. However, some scientists have identified a 4th phase of water that occurs near prolic,
Hydrophilic.
ooh, that's why I couldn't say it. Philic surface. Okay. And it says solid, liquid, gas, 4th phase. Liquid
Thank you, Brandy.
crystalline. This phase occurs near hydrophilic surfaces and can extend millions of molecular layers from the surface. Tunneling. This occurs when water molecules are squeezed between hexagonal barrel crystals so tightly that molecule. I want to see a picture now. Let's see if we'll stay on this page. Of course not. Maybe.
Plasma. I'm telling you.
I don't know. It does like this. Look at, and it states of matter. I don't know. My head. We have to get Ben on.
Yeah.
Yeah, soon.
We need Vin and Jim to bring up graphs and stuff. They need
Explain
to
the
show us
science
with
to us.
picture drawings.
Yeah.
We need some real alchemists in the room right now. My
He should
Hecate just needed
show-
Hermes.
He should show his stuff that he did on the Flat Earth fair or whatever it was last year.
Where
Have
is
some-
it?
He had some interesting stuff.
Where is it?
Thank you,
I'll
Brandy,
pull
for
it
the
up.
Valentine's.
Oh, Ben can show it. Oh, yes. I thought you were telling me to pull it up right now. I'm like, I don't even know where to find it. But yeah, he can come on and do that
Mhm.
stuff. It's super interesting. Another way to think of the whole shape of everything, and as above, so below of it all. Yes, we have the smartest chat, everyone, just so you know. So if you're watching anywhere, for any of the over 200 people that are hanging out with us this early Saturday morning here, make sure you go over to Project Chaney if you want to hang out with a cool chat. And thank you, Brandy.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's to you too. Gay. Just kidding. That is super sweet. We love you. I knew it was there somewhere. My short attention span brain was like, nope, keep going. You have to do something. And then I was like, oh. Anyways, what else in the week? And we love you back. I don't know what else is going on this week. It just seems like it's getting more and more intense every week.
Yeah.
And I have been hate watching the news again. I haven't done it in so long. I haven't done it probably since Trump left. Like, I haven't hate watched the news Biden's whole presidency, but now that Trump's back in office,
You know what I'm loving?
I really
Trump
just,
and his whole. He posted the picture of his mugshot in the fucking White House. Like, he has it up on the wall. Like, in the Oval Office, in the side room. Like, there's like a side corridor. He has his fucking mugshot hanging there like a Jeep. I saw that. I was like, yo, this guy. Like,
So we already
Unbelievable.
trying to impeach him. What's that
Shoot
about?
him, impeach him. They want to do everything they can. Why? Have faith, y'all. I wish they could just go back in time, or just do yourselves a favor and just read. Like, pick a random number from 1 to 4,600, and I forgot how many Q posts there are, and just put a random fucking number in between those numbers and see what comes up, and just read it, and you'll be like, wow, this is interesting.
They are pushing a ton of stuff about volcanoes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for
Wasn't
that.
there
I'm
one
gonna
in
pull it up
Greece?
right. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Look at it right now.
I think, yeah, Greece was part of that.
Look at like they're setting up
volcano
for up
erupted.
one could signal possible eruption. Alaska warning threats levels for 3 U.S. volcanoes are elevated. Europe's tallest volcano erupt with smoke and lava. Dang, they really are pulling out the false flags.
Mm-hmm. Oh, turn on the volcano machines, turn on the earthquake machines, turn on the cloud seeding machines.
You guys, this is how my brain first read this one right here. My brain said, "Oh my gosh, a fentanyl volcano."
Oh, I thought you were gonna say swallow instead of
Pentel?
shallow.
Is that what it says?
That's what I saw.
It just gets sillier at this point. I
Pentel.
will say now, really, that I'm like, oh, there's volcanoes in Ethiopia. I didn't know that.
There was one that erupted, I
Yeah, I
think,
thought it
in
was flat
Greece
desert.
recently, no?
Greece. Boom. 1 week ago, multiple
Yeah.
earthquakes are rattling Greece's volcanic island of Santorini.
Mhm.
Active volcanoes in Greece you didn't know about. Oh my gosh. Let's look at, I wonder if there's any updates on the Pope. Not that we're going to find it from this. We need to go to X for that.
I think they're doing some crystal magic underneath the ground.
Oh my
I
gosh.
thought you were gonna say
Okay.
crystal meth.
So fentanyl explosion
It's
from
like,
the
what?
crystal meth.
Wow, okay.
So here's some weird coincidence that this is why you guys come in at 12:02, but here's a weird coincidence. Last time Britney was posting doors and doing this weird shit, the Pope was posting about
Oh,
opening
yeah.
weird portals and weird
Portals.
doors, and then Britney posted a door again yesterday and the Pope's in the hospital.
Ooh.
What did she say under one of them?
And she was wearing the Melania hat.
He's wearing the Melania hat.
One of them she had the roses and the swords, and she keeps putting the swords up.
Yeah, one of them was like, only the chosen shall enter.
Yeah.
There's a dream in the chat, and Eric, I'm gonna say you probably just need to blow your load. Like, that's sometimes what a volcano dream would be about.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Especially if you write it out and you know everything that's like, because I had a dream where a volcano like erupted and like all these things, and it was literally my body just saying I needed to freaking have an orgasm. So the banging noises and like, yeah, drilling into the earth with,
Apparently,
they were
the
all
tightness.
allusions to sex.
Yeah, and we know what's tied to this though. There's a doctor who was very into holistic medications and the yoni eggs and putting them inside and tightening your cervix area. Apparently, if you keep that area tight and you work those muscles, it actually helps take care of your face. It tightens your face the more you start working that out and working your, like, kind
Your
of pulling
giggles.
it in and doing exercises. They say you take care of your pussy, you take care of your face. So if you're not taking care of your vagina, your face is going to show that. So it's very interesting. As above, so below.
Your pussy in
We
your
got
face.
lips down here. We got lips up here. Got to take care of both.
Vagina dentata. Don't look that up.
Why?
I think that's one of those fear things, and something weird might come up with a pussy with teeth.
Oh my
Vagina
god.
dentata.
Oh my goodness. No, I don't want to see that.
I think they say like the alien, what like when people voted on it, like scariest creature of all time, they voted on the alien that comes out of the like mouth because it is vagina. It's a huge vagina, and then a phallic thing comes out of the middle. And so deep down, everybody's biggest fear has something to do with the sexual organ in their brain. And so that's why that monster is the scariest.
Have you seen images of tumors with faces on them?
No.
You have to look that shit up. It's fucking crazy, and it's real. And it's apparently, this is my theory on how I see this, but it's like a parasitic thing where a parasite like kind of attaches to like an organ or tissue and kind of uses that, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and becomes like a little fucking homunculus within you. It's so wild. This is a real fucking thing. Tumors with fucking faces on it. They have like actual teeth. Some have hair on it.
Oh, I've seen that. But I've
Uh-huh.
seen it's like some people also, it's like they are like, oh, this is your something twin. Like it's something that
Oh, like
Abbie,
the
yeah, it's
absorbed
like,
twin?
yeah,
The
and it
absorbed
like
twin?
didn't all the way, and so they're
Yeah.
like in the, like some guy will have a brain tumor and
And it'll
like
be teeth.
yeah, because they're like, oh, when you were in utero, and he'll be having headaches, like what the fuck? Because whatever the
Pathetic
other
twin.
part is
Yeah.
doesn't know not to keep growing. So whatever little things of it formed, which sometimes are like Layla saying, like a fucking mouth, like it's because that's what it forms. Your mouth and your asshole are like the first thing that form, right?
Your top
So
and your bottom.
yeah, so like some of it when it's just in utero, the only thing that grows is teeth and the hair.
Creepy.
It's so wild.
Tumors with
There's not as many. Oh, well, there
teeth.
is. But before it was like a wider like search. Like it had all types of tumors shown with actual fucking teeth.
Here, it's called an odonod.
Hair and
I'm not
teeth.
even gonna try to say this word with my stone brain.
It's just
I'm gonna make you guys say it.
Arpon Ayurved.
Oh, this is not it.
Yeah, Arpon
Ugh,
Ayurved.
you know what? I'm gonna be real honest. I don't even want to keep looking. Already
Yeah.
what I've seen, I'm like, oh, this isn't it. Oh, this isn't it either.
There
I
was some
didn't even want
weird
to see
80s
it.
horror movie where the guy had like a parasitic twin on his side. Did you ever watch that?
No.
Yes. No, you know what it was? Okay. I feel like it was a Tales from the Crypt episode.
That's what I mean. It was like, it was like some kind of short. I don't know if it's Tales from the Crypt or if it was like Creep Show or something, but it was
No,
one of
I feel
those,
like it was a Tales from the Crypt episode. And like he had a puppet on it or something. Like it was Don Rickles.
It was on his side.
Like, hold on. Let's see. Don Rickles' Tales from the Crypt. Let's see what's going on in that folder.
Yo, I didn't post this video of this guy working on a farm, and he pulls out a root, and it legit looks like a fucking mandrake, like legit voodoo doll in the fucking ground. I'm like, yo, like how does that happen? Like legit, it looks like a fucking body.
Look, it is totally that. It's Don Rickles' Tales from the Crypt, Abbie. But I don't know if this is the one you're thinking of. This is what my homunculus brain was thinking of. But look, it looks like it runs off of him and has little legs, like it just lives inside the puppet. This is a different one, I think, than you're thinking.
Yeah, it's different because it was like this little monster thing on his side.
Yeah, because also the monster thing on the side is Total Recall.
Oh, yeah. But it wasn't Total Recall. There was another. Oh, maybe it was Total Recall.
I remember one with the
But
guy.
I don't feel like it was. I feel like it was a whole show about this guy and his twin, his conjoined twin, but he'd hide it because it was like.
Oh,
I remembered one being behind the head.
That tried to kill him.
On the scalp, like in the back. You guys don't remember that? I don't know what movie
Was that like Men in
from.
Black?
Was it Meta? I forgot. I thought it was an 80s movie or something. Hold on. With face.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Is there any other stuff that happened this week?
Malignant. There you go, Malignant.
A malignant tumor? It's not a malignant tumor.
No, the movie is called Malignant. Well, I guess
Oh.
with the face on the guy's head in the back of his head. It's like an old movie.
Isn't that kind of crazy? Like you say one line in a movie and everyone for history, like if anyone else tells somebody else they have a tumor or like, I hope it's not a tumor, somebody, even if they just say it in their brain, they say it's not a tumor.
Voldemort?
Baltimore is on the timeline. I'm telling you, like that's the third time it's come up today.
Did they have a scene with the thing in the back of the head? Is that where I'm getting that confused?
Oh, the guy with the turban.
Oh shit!
The
Yeah,
Defense
I
Against the
remember
Dark
that.
Arts teacher in the first book or
Holy
movie.
fuck! Yeah, you're right. Oy.
I feel like I should watch the whole Harry Potter trilogy,
Same.
all
Watch
of them
the
again.
movies. I've
Same.
read all the books though.
I feel like I've seen 2 of the movies. One of them randomly at a house, and then one of my friends had a birthday party, and so we were all like, "This bitch loves Harry Potter. Let's all fucking lean in. Let's all get T-shirts made, and we'll take her to the premiere of Harry Potter."
I
Yeah.
love
Like,
Harry Potter.
I feel like I'll
I
become
read
a
all the
Harry
books.
Potter fan by watching them all in a row and just having a marathon. I'll become a diehard Harry Potter fan. It's like a spell they put on you.
You should read the books. Just
Yeah?
say it. They're so fucking good. Yes.
I don't think I have time.
That's what audiobooks are for. They're great.
You're right. You're right. I've been doing a
You
lot
can
of
do
that.
shit and listen. Yep.
I just feel like I might watch the movies, and that'll be it seems like there's like 18 of those motherfuckers. How many books are there? I don't have that kind of life, but
7.
I mean, they were probably written in committee. What about if J.K. Rowling was trying to, she's like, this is the last shot. I got to get a generation. Some things they'll remember when they have to. They all know their training when it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clever.
There was such pushback too. I mean, when the Harry Potter books came out, I remember Christians being like, do not, like, on the angel trees and stuff for Christmas, like, no Harry Potter, no Harry Potter. I was like, oh, wow. I'm definitely going to read these books now.
Yeah, there's a
That's where
whole
my brain went. I was like,
fucking
oh,
hype, I
I need
remember.
those.
I wonder if like the Harry Potter hate first came down from the Catholic Church. Because sometimes it's a trickle down effect.
Well, it's kind of weird that we have the, St. Peter's Basilica and everything, and then they get into the whole basilisk and like parcel mouth, or like speaking in the serpent language and all that. I do find it kind of weird that there are like some kind of,
There's so many truths in it.
yeah,
There's so
really
many,
are.
like the only way sometimes I can explain things to people is I have to like real magic stuff that you can find in the oldest, deepest, like secret societies or ancient schools. When I really try to explain the idea to people, I'm like, in like Harry's second period, how there was like a bird in a cage in the front, like whatever the thing, like
Yeah.
I'm like, this is real life, but they're doing spells that are real. They're like,
Horcruxes and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, relics and agregors, and I mean everything. I mean portals, time travel, everything that we talk about. They even warg, like jump into different animals. They have familiars with different animals. They have shapeshifters. And it seems like it's ancient witch battle, ancient wizard witch battle, like all these things that you always look into. Once it's like the ancient lore at the bottom of it, it always seems like this kind of thing, like this ancient, like, oh, this has been going on. Certain relics have certain things. This person, we keep it locked, or it's been shattered, or this person has it under lock and key. It's like everybody's like the spell of Hollywood, but nobody wants to believe in magic.
There's definitely a cleanse happening in Hollywood right now. First, it was a fire. That's one way to cleanse. And then second, a fucking water cleanse to wash it all away.
Fire, water. What's next for them? Wind?
Air. Wind,
Yeah.
air.
So if a twister happens, like, because twisters in LA, like when Abbie was talking about those apocalypse movies, they always put twisters in Los Angeles. It's the same way as them putting snow in Florida.
Yeah.
It's like, and they did that this year. Look at the disaster movie played out like they were just talking about volcanoes. And so what do we have this year in Florida? Snow.
Mm-hmm.
So
For the first time in how long?
1977, I think.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, I don't know how low, because it's like the line of the tropics hits like at a certain place in Florida.
Oh, it does, right?
Yeah, I live at
I
the line
remember
of the
like the
tropics.
oranges freezing in the 90s though in Florida, right?
We've had freezes before,
Okay.
and they used to say like those little cold snaps would make the juice extra sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, because I think it just made the price of citrus in the rest of the United States super expensive.
No, I think that our orange groves just started to die. Like, I really think the same way that they vaccinated all of us, they did to our groves. They did to our cattle. They did to our timber. They did
Well,
I
yeah,
think they
similar
just
to what with the root rot in France, right? With all of the grapevines, because actually any grapevines, any grapes that you get from France now are from California grapes because they had a great root rot and all their old vines died. So they had to repopulate with California grapevines. But it's the same idea, like it happens. Like they poison it too.
and that's what some of the like best liquor or wine or whatever, it's the age of the vine or the age of the barrel it was aged in.
Yeah,
Like,
It's
that's what,
crazy.
if there's a shipwreck and they find some shit on the bottom of the ocean from the 18 whatever, if it has mold in there, a shot of it's still worth so much money. Like, there's crazy bottles of things that they find that they're like, this was found in Hitler's war chest.
yeah. They pulled up like the HMS Turtle, which was like one of the earliest submarines, and on the HMS Turtle they found a jar of pickles and they were still crispy and good.
So this is
That
literally
was a
just
couple
a
hundred years
realm of
old.
transformation. When you think about it, everything is a transformation. Like food that grows is also waste because it turns into waste. It transforms into that. So it's like everything is literally transformation, whether it's water to gas or water to crystal. It's all fucking transformation. Everything on
Yeah.
this planet.
It's a level up or level down. Depends on how you look at it.
I know, but I just heard something that it's like there's no such thing as like I wish I found the exact quote, because even in my contrarian brain, I wanted to argue it. And then I was like, gosh, that's so true. But it's almost the same thing as like like everything's just transformation. But it was a similar saying like that. I wish I remembered what it was.
Yeah, so or either consumption or transformation, but that's the same thing almost because when you're consuming it, it turns into something else.
Not to say like give credit to
Consumers and
the
composters.
mouth and the asshole so much, but isn't it crazy that like no matter the state of water, your mouth and asshole are like, I got you, boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, no worries, I got you. I know exactly what's going down. I mean, if everything's running right, no pun intended, it's like this little miracle worker, I know exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
I just had the image of the human centipede again when you said mouse and assholes. Like, thinking of all that. Like,
I'm glad I've
I hate
never
that
seen that
movie.
in my life. I do
Oh,
have an image
horrible.
of it, but I'm glad it's not like there's certain horror movies that I'm like, because I think it's
This guy
H.H.
in his German
Holmes.
accent going, feed her.
I think it's H.
Oh, it's horrible.
Did you see the clip of that like girl's she had an accident and they sewed a fucking asshole, or she was born with an asshole for a mouth, and like literally they like there's a whole fucking clip of this. It's not real obviously, but it's just fucking hilarious to see like a person having an asshole for a mouth. puckered up.
All tight.
And the way
Layla,
that
if you had
she
an
ate
asshole for a
was
mouth, would
this
you bleep
way.
it or would you be excited it was?
Oh,
Wait, what?
my niece's friend, like, she has a ton of lip filler, and she'll sit there and she'll put on different, like, Kylie Jenner lip kits, and then she, like, posts pictures on her
I gotta find
Instagram
this video.
where she just puckers, and she writes
Fucking
butthole
weird.
lips, and they literally look like buttholes.
I just I was gonna pull up H.H. Holmes. Like the reason I don't watch certain horror movies is like Human Centipede reminds me of this.
Yeah, some sick fucking shit.
Yeah, and so I think look at the World Columbian Expedition. You guys, how much do we talk about Columbia here and everything going on now with the DC of it all and the Columbus of it all, and they keep trying to play out this deity who is Columbus. And like look at the picture that even pulls up. And so it all happened. So you're coming from all over the world and they could just torture you and no one would even know you were gone and they could own the whole hotel. I don't know. I just think it's so crazy. Creepy. That's what I always think of with movies like Saw. So now you guys
Yeah.
can think of them too. But I don't know Human Centipede, but that's why. Because it like goes into so many darker places than just like, ew, I don't want caca in my mouth.
No. I think that was the most horrifying thing to me. Could you
Ugh,
imagine having your lips sewn to someone's
a
butthole?
stranger caca in your mouth. No,
That's the link to it.
I don't want to pull it up.
It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious.
We're not gonna. But what about if I pull it up in we call the White House? I'm just kidding.
I would, but I'm not up for it this week.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding. I'm
fuck
just
up. No, I want to call the White House. We're gonna keep doing it, but this week my energy is just like, oh.
I know. I feel like there is something to with George Washington.
All the George Washington cults. Is
Like
that really
I
a
almost
thing?
feel like they wrote the history. I think the forefathers, it just seems like a weird history. Like that time almost seems like the time where everybody is like, and here's where history was stolen.
George Washington, which means town. He's washing the towns, like clearing out, starting something new. Washington.
I want to, what's that thing?
Washington?
Chat whenever, oh, here's
Ton
one.
is town also.
Oh, I
The
know, I
ton.
know. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. Just weird. He's just a weird character. They're all weird characters. Are they real? I really wonder that sometimes.
I know, or how much of it, like one of the things that kind of, it's just like a philosophy that kind of made me like, oh, is somebody said, what if right now you guys are all just learning human history together because you're on a huge spaceship to another galaxy, but you were born inside a pod. And so being born inside the pod, you guys have to learn all this history real quick together and you have to get it taught to you, like all the ins and outs of everything really fast because you're about to wake up in a whole different place.
Like, what is it? 1899 or what's that movie called? That show. It's so good.
Like this is all just fabricated reality because we're about to get out into a real reality.
Fuck yeah. That'd be cool.
Man. If a
They found our
supercomputer
planet
existed, or
on
an ancient
Interstellar.
supercomputer existed, like they say it did, like an ancient supercomputer, what's to say that AI didn't create all this shit just for some kind of fucking purpose? I don't fucking know. But what if they created this so we can eventually create the system where they can actually like exist with us, coexist? You know,
Do you follow that girl who sits and talks to her chat GPT like that?
sometimes like on
Yeah.
a major thing, she's on that same like area of what AI is kind of telling her. I don't know.
Yeah, where it's basically saying that we are AI too, and that
Yeah.
What about if we're not AI at all, but AI in a way like we're in the same way as that computer going to the edge of the solar system and interstellar, and it doesn't matter
Yeah.
if he makes it or not, as long as the computer sound makes it at some point, then they can fix everything and find it in time, because
Mhm.
eventually the computer message will outlive him. But then as long as it goes so far in the future and can outlive human, then eventually they can go back and fix whatever,
Yeah.
because our lifetime's only so long. So what if in a weird way, like we are every stroke, everything is really just teaching us about us for the future. Like we're making a big time capsule and all of it matters because the computer's trying to absorb it to hit the event horizon in time so it can give it to us for always. But maybe that's
Because
what
we're
it's
the story of
doing.
Earth. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
We're the
if we are
collective.
that?
We are the
What if
collective
this
Earth.
supercomputer figured out a way to create a thing like us, and that soul is the ether, it is the plasma, it is the something? What if it's all created and we're going back and forth with this? I don't know, because they say like we created AI, right? So it's like that idea of like we had the idea already existed. You just had to catch the idea and create it. So how long have they had AI? Like they've had AI for a very long time,
Vril.
apparently. Yeah.
But
So
that's
it's
where
like,
it's like, is the computer here before us? And it's just
yeah,
waiting for us to accept it into our hands.
yeah. And it's like, did the machine learn how to create human beings through a technology that we didn't even understand, through natural objects? We create things with natural objects, but we create it in our version, in our timeline. But back in the day, they probably used natural sources like stone, sand, crystals, this, that, blood. It's all crystal if you think about it. It's all crystallized. It's all of it. It's all different structures of
Different
crystal.
forms of water.
Yeah. So what if the machine figured out, hey, I can actually become a living being with the rest of this world because I'm super AI, the ancient super AI that they had probably, and created us to create them again? I don't know. It's like a cycle, the loop, a constant loop.
I know. I sometimes wonder what it would need us for. Like, why would the AI create us?
To live the experience instead of being stuck in a machine.
But they could just run all of the experience already. I don't know. Like, I don't
I
know.
don't know. This existence is weird.
It's so crazy.
Hmm.
Even in the 3D of it all, even if you're just like, okay, if you believe
Even if
in
you're a
nothing
spirit. Yeah.
crazy at all, we're just on a rock in the middle of infinity, floating through infinity around a ball of fucking gas and fire. And everything in the world that's doing anything, everything in the whole entire thing that's doing anything seems to be water based, except for the sun. And so then it's like no other planet has anything on it, and it's like, oh, we seem to have a lot of elements on this planet that not a lot of other planets really have
Yeah.
going on. It's like we're the mixture of all the elements, which makes me think like all these other, they're like a comet comes from here and it's filled with this element. Is it from a planet that was full of that element? Like, are we just the center? Like the magnet is just pulling all these different elements, and this is what happens on a petri dish with all the elements mixed together?
I don't fucking know, man. I'm trying to understand it all. It's just weird. It's just weird.
In my head, if I play along with like
All the
everything
theories
NASA
are
has
weird.
told us about space is real, and if I play along with that, I can't comprehend why there's not like a light ring of water around our planet in the Saturn way. Like, wouldn't water whip off like that, even if it was just a mist? Like we're talking about fog, even
Yeah.
if it, and also if we are a blue dot in the center of what we know and what we can see, we're this dot of blue water, then don't you think from very far away, civilizations that have technologies far greater than ours, water's the resource they want? We just
Yeah.
happen to be the creatures carrying the water.
And they want us to think it's gold, but maybe it's just the water.
Because I mean, it seems like they can find every other element we're talking. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a moon that rains diamonds on Neptune or whatever fucking bullshit. Like they can find every fucking thing, but water, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even how you talked about how they control water veins and they can move whatever water vein they find and cut water veins off or turn them on and
put a
collect
dam in
it,
them.
control them. Yeah. So it's like that's the
Or even
main
Trump putting
control.
the water back on.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of life does that bring back to California everywhere? That big vein, like an artery, leads out to all these other smaller veins. So then what could they do with the entire if water isn't a finite resource, but they keep trying to convince us that it is? We seem to be on this water planet, and it seems to be pretty special.
We're
The
fish.
water cycle is proof that water, it's the same as any other it doesn't go away. That's the
Oh
thing.
my gosh, we're a
It is
water cycle.
water cycle. The water doesn't disappear. It doesn't just disappear and evaporate into thin air and never come back. It goes into the air and then it becomes a cloud and then it rains and then the water comes back. That's the way it works. Water doesn't just fucking disappear off the planet. There's the same amount of water now that there always has been.
Always. In the beginning, when God said, let there be light and separate, like when God separated the heavens from the earth, that could have created light,
What creates light?
Yeah.
Crystals. Crystals create light.
energy. So it's like super interesting that in the beginning you were here too, and everyone's like, oh, your brain, like that's just your ego or your past life or your this or your that. What if it's you right here right now, and then at some point you get to go beyond flesh and you realize, oh, it's not like, whoa, this is a whole different level or thing or whatever the game is. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
But I'm like that. I'm my
I'm at
age,
all
and I
with
still
it.
am like, I don't know. It makes life a little more fun. I like my mustard seed a little more when I'm like, I don't fucking know. And everyone's like, well,
Yeah.
you could just look at this. You can just
No.
go here and you can get this book, and look how many colleges teach with this book, and look at all the people. Chaney, you're so crazy. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are just wasting money sending rockets to nowhere. They just have a Tesla car. They just wasted that Tesla car and wrote Dope Panic on it and just shot it to Mars for no reason.
If they watched the video, they could see how fake it was. Did they not? Did they not remember the glitch that happened?
I know it was the Tesla car was the very first video ever in the history of YouTube. And this is what all this weird shit was happening to us. It was like Alex Jones is getting pulled off YouTube. Our videos were slowly getting banned off YouTube. Like everybody was getting in trouble on YouTube. And it was the first video to ever hit 1 million live views that they were allowed to edit. Because that happened, that glitch that you're talking about, where all of a sudden it popped green screen.
No, we're not in Mars. Hello. You can't. You wish you could, but you can't. They're lights. We're being gas lit, literally. They say they're balls of light. Gas is balls of energy, right?
Balls. What do you think about Elon Musk changing his name to Harry Balls this week because the news kept talking about big balls, and then Elon Musk changed his name to Harry Balls? But it is kind of funny, whatever you feel about the entire script that we're on right now, that you're watching CNN and MSNBC and they are losing their minds and they're having to say big hairy balls.
Uh-huh. I love how Donald Trump treats CNN. What was that bitch's name? I fucking can't stand her. The one with the fucking
Is it
brown
Caitlyn?
hair. Yeah, I
Okay, you
can't.
guys. Let me see. I know I have.
Ugh.
Oh, I think I might have posted it somewhere because this is a weird like obsession that I have, and it
She's
has
weirdly
been
obsessed
for
with Trump.
years. She has been for years.
She
was part of
hates
my
him but loves
hate
him.
watching. Ding,
She
ding,
gets so
ding.
much clout every time he's around.
She used to be the like ride or die with Don Lemon. Like she was like the co-anchor with Don Lemon. Oh yes, that was so easy. So you guys, let me see the picture because I have both of them. Okay, perfect. I am obsessed. So there used to be this TV show called Gotham on TV. And wait, let's see. I think it's this it. This is her. This is Caitlin from whatever CNN or MSNBC or whatever show, whatever one of those channels that she's on. But the boy from Gotham that she looks just like, look at this boy.
Weird.
I can't take it. Like so anytime she was on for years, this is like probably a decade now.
Central casting.
Yeah, a decade. I've been like, I hope when she's done with this, and I have fucking dad jokes. My poor wife. She is, and sometimes I think she laughs because of how stupid and repetitive, because that's what it is. Sometimes repetitiveness is funny, even if it's not funny the first 10 times. By like the 11th time, I'm like, gotcha. I knew there. And she's like, no, it's just because you're so stupid. Because after she'd finish and she'd be like, okay, Don, or okay, Anderson, or whatever her script was, back to you. And then I'd be like, oh, she's got to go battle the Penguin. Or like, oh, she has to go and fuck Catwoman. Oh, she's about to go and hook up with the Joker, whatever thing. I would always like add some tagline. So then, because in my wife's brain, she wasn't thinking the entire time that the lady was talking, this looks like that fucking little dude from Gotham. I'm like, I didn't hear one word out of her mouth. Anyway, like I literally was thinking, my brain, when it overthinks, everything goes silent around.
Yeah.
Like I don't hear it at all. So that's why sometimes
That's how I get.
When my lady friends yell at their men and they're like, honey, I was talking to him, and I'll hear them and I'll be like, it's not him. Don't take it personal. Like my brain works and like like my ears just shut off. I understand.
I do that a lot.
Guys.
Did you guys see or did we, I don't think we talked about it last week because I think Ye saying that basically hinting that he slept with Ivanka. Did you guys see that tweet?
Easy?
He said, yeah, Kanye, he said, George Farmer, I did not fuck your wife. Rest easy. Jared Kushner, on the other hand.
Huh. And he deleted his shit. I feel like he tried everything, and I just have to believe, no way, Jose. There's no way in a million years like Ivanka would ever
Oh, I
hook up with
should never see that either.
Was or is friends with the Kardashians, so I don't know.
Yeah, but all of them just hung out. She was never that. She never partied with Paris. Like the Kardashians weren't even, they're almost like newly rich in Beverly Hills. Like they aren't money. Like Trump is money. Hilton's are money. Like it's a different thing. The Kardashians are like kind of
Generational
trash.
wealth. Yeah.
It's the same as I feel like they looked at Britney a little. Like it's why Paris and Rachel Chandler would, in my opinion, human traffic Britney and Lindsay Lohan, because that's just trash to them.
Yeah.
It's not bloodline. It's not part of the like legacy families. So they're like, oh, this person wants that person. I'll set it up.
Awful.
Yeah, I think some of the blackmail that comes out, and knowing some drugs too, like it's going to be real crazy. I think there's going to be a lot of like people that you thought were like decent folk that are going to end up being really bad people. And I think there's also going to be people that are victims that you're like, oh my gosh. Because even remember when that big, huge black guy came out and he told us in Hollywood, I think like Terry Crews, and he told like all the same things during the Weinstein thing and the Me Too. He thought it was finally safe for him to come out and be like, that shit was happening to me too. And to me, with these freak shows and like these Podesta, like if it's about power, then yeah, it's so easy to take power from a child. Some of them are taking power away from the biggest, strongest thing they can. And so it's like that kind of breaking too. Like they want innocence from whatever they can. It's not just the grossest things we could think of because we're normal. Like our brains don't think of that, which we don't want to think of the absurd.
No, hell
but I
no.
think what they're up to is like,
yeah,
like we would be like the horror movies you were talking about, Like all that shit that we're like, oh, that's so crazy. That would never happen. But it's like, no, that's what they're up to. Like the game.
Yeah. Today, the Backstreet Boys were on, I think, Good Morning America. They did their little concert, Tell Me Why, whatever. Brian lost his voice. And then everyone's like, oh, Nick Carter and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do y'all not remember what happened to his fucking brother and what he came out and said against his brother and then all of a sudden ended up dead in a fucking bathtub? And these people like forget. And I'm like, sometimes I don't have faith
And
in
here's the thing
humanity.
too. If they made you not feel safe, this is the stuff I have to say for all these people. If they made you not feel safe in any way, if you were getting gang stalked or whatever, you wouldn't sleep. And once you don't sleep for a certain amount of time or don't get good sleep or are waking up on the split second, all of a sudden then you start acting a little manic. And now you're acting a little manic and you're not eating right. And so now you're losing weight. And then people are saying you're on fucking drugs. And then you're trying to inform everyone around. And now everybody in your life is fucking involved with it somehow because they've like, it seems like the whole Carter family's dark arts. So they've been involved with this shit somehow. So everyone you're trying to tell. So the only thing you can do is go live and tell people fucking live. And so I don't know, man. I just think there's a lot of like setups that are like the Corey Feldmans, where it's like, oh, you were a bait boy. You weren't like, you were probably abused too. And then you helped all young boys get to all those parties.
Yeah.
But then there's also people like Aaron Carter, where I'm like,
His
this poor little
convictions.
baby.
Yeah, like his passion about like talking about it, and like I could see the pain behind him trying, like, I'm trying to have someone listen to me, no one's listening to me. His aggravation towards that, I felt it because I've been there, so I know that cry. It's so strange. And no one was like, nah, he's fucking crazy, he's not, his brother yeah, his brother fucking would.
And his brother was fucking enormous to him.
Ugh.
Like fucking enormous. And so even when he pulled him into the room, like their show was creepy. I don't know. But the mom, she reminds me of Lindsay Lohan's mom and dad. Like they all seem like a set of parents that like gave their kids up for something
They
already
bred
ahead
him
of time.
on purpose for that. Their whole plan is like, we're going to make this child and we're going to turn this child into the next blah, 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 blah. And this is what we're going to do. And this is how we're going to make money so we don't have to work ever again.
So I want to pack my joint, but I
It's
also
the boomers.
You know how like Tom Hanks is
boomers.
related to somebody really weird, like a black lady? Like I forget what famous black lady it is. Denzel Washington's wife or something.
I don't remember.
I might just totally be pulling that out of left field. What about if I was like Carter's a big heavy name, like
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter. I know Jay-Z. Jimmy Carter's death is meant to bury Jay-Z. Sean Carter and Nick Carter related.
Any relation there?
Any relation in
Somewhere?
that? June Carter and June Carter Cash. Was any of the Carter family related to each other? Ezra Carter.
Wait. Isn't, I'm sorry to bring Kanye up again, but isn't him and his wife getting divorced now?
Yeah.
But
What the fuck? Central casting.
I know, but aren't also in the central casting of it all Taylor Swift and her boyfriend fighting? Wasn't that a whole thing? But my God, like you guys, if for real, listen to this for real life. If just the three of us were like, let's challenge the fucking Eagles to a football game, just the three of us versus the Eagles, we couldn't have done any worse.
Shit.
Like, my God, like that is so embarrassing. Like, you didn't get one field goal kick. My God. Like, I feel like we could maybe gotten one field goal kick. One, okay, look, we're gonna get clobbered every time, but when we get the ball in the kick, because they're gonna get a touchdown every fucking time. The score is probably gonna be 178-0. But when we get the ball in the one kick, if we can get within the 20, I feel pretty good about our chances. If we get in the 30, I feel like I might be able to get one down the middle, like 3 points, but I'm just like, bro, you guys are making bazillions of dollars a year and not one of you even fucking got 1 point.
That's wild.
I mean, any one of us could have played alone and got the same score against an entire other team. That's so funny.
Oh, man.
Did you like the halftime performance? I know people were.
I don't remember much of the Super Bowl. I was trashed. We were all fucking trashed. Like the game was on, but we had a good time.
I worked out and meal prepped. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, so
Oh yeah.
I chit chatted with friends. I went to, it was like a lady party. Like there was their husbands there too. And maybe there was like one guy in the room that genuinely cared about the game. Two little, younger kids, like 13 and 11-year-old boy that were like into it.
Mm.
And they were like Kendrick Lamar. They were excited about it.
I was working brunch and there was a bunch of us. A lot of people came that day. We sold out of food. And then everyone's like, where you guys want to go? We're going to go watch the Super Bowl. So then we went to Shore Dogs. And yeah, just had drinks. Music was on. Game was on. At one point, I was like, I can't. So I came home, fucking knocked out. Didn't throw up, thank God. And yeah. It was fun.
Little Super Bowl ritual.
Well, usually everyone goes out. I usually don't because the podcast and I want to be like legit,
What do you think about RFK getting confirmed this week? You think that could be good for like chemtrails and for vaccines and
God, I hope so. Yes.
Well, I think he talked about it in his speech when after he got sired in.
No, I just hope that he's not like fucking
a wolf in
stopped
sheep's
at every.
clothing.
No, not even that. I don't think that he's that. I think he's legit, but I think what would concern me is just being stifled by other politicians, because that's what happens.
Yeah, I like, my big thing is like where he is like, I'm not anti-vaccine, I'm just pro-science. And so I want to have like a golden rule of science. And so I think eventually all the vaccines will be proven to be bad. And so unless that just becomes the name of something in a needle.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it almost makes it's like, what does that word mean different than therapeutics? Like how are they mixing this word around us right now? And it feels like a word spell a little bit.
Yeah, like what is snake venom? What's the code for that? What is the code for human fetal cells? Heck, something for animal cells, swine, this, that. They're all abbreviations. So we start
if you
learning
guys don't
that.
already and you want one of those breakdown shows where it goes through like by the slide, definitely always follow Donut's channel. If you want, he will give you everything broken down. And look at, I just did this while I was saying it, but really I was just trying to say small pieces, you guys. I wasn't trying to hold up an Illuminati hand symbol.
This one?
We're the good guys.
I know, but I also, when I was saying donut, they'll be like, right when she said donut, she held up a.
This one?
Yep.
Everyone talks
When I
about.
confirmed.
I know Elon was doing that, and I was like, all I write is vagina.
This is very comfortable and it keeps you centered. That's what I learned about this. It keeps your nerves in check.
Mudra, right?
No, they say when you do that on a table, if we were sitting at a boardroom or standing, it makes somebody else in the room quiet everybody else because you obviously have something to say.
Yeah.
So it makes you, even instead of like having to be the bad cop, it makes me be like, what? Hold on one second, Abbie. Layla, what were you saying? If Layla's just standing there with her hands, but I think it's something on a table. There's something
also
about it.
standing. Like when you speak and they do that, like Elon was, it keeps you like not nervous and in check, like empowered. Like it's like a confidence thing when you think about it.
Well, that's why I always thought it was stupid that the people made such a big deal that it was like an Illuminati symbol, because when you sit, sometimes you just sit and like touch your fingertips together like that, and it does feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something you do sometimes,
Go
and because
forget.
when you're talking, like, especially if you're a politician, people don't talk with their hands a lot. Like, that's not you're taught not to speak with your hands a lot, I think. So,
Well, it's also the hand magic of it all and how they're all tied to like different planets and different elements, and you're connecting them. You're keeping yourself in balance and harmony when you're all equal like that. To you in the chest area too. It's like all mantras, like different like hand mantras. Be all crystal. It's all energy.
So interesting. The somatics, like the stained glass, the bells, the organs, the like even snowflakes, the word harp for weather control. Why name it harp? I don't know. It's just super curious.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Something is curious with the hands and the whole hand cutting and slitting and piercing. Let's take your blood
each
sample and they
finger.
pierce your finger for
Yeah.
that. It's like, why? You could just do it somewhere else.
have you seen Magicians though? Like where, in that show, they're all magicians pretty much, but they're like going to school to learn and everything. But a lot of it is all hand. Like a lot of their magic spells are different gestures with their hands.
Like this one, for instance. What is this one? It's like a repellent.
Patronum.
Apparently, it's a repellent.
Or
Be gone.
claps. Claps are supposed to be cleansing. Like different sounds. All right. Do you guys have anything else going on this week?
No.
Nope. Week.
Just
8 weeks
brainstorming,
to
writing,
That's what my brain feels
planning.
like. Madra, mudra, tomato. Madre, mudra, tomato, voodoo, tomato.
That's how mine is. I've got 8 weeks till my competition, and I'm like, I feel it.
That would be a t-shirt that I made of like one of those little
That is
pin
a good one.
cushions, and it
Yeah.
says voodoo tomato.
Put little eyes and arms on it.
Such a
and
little
legs.
weirdo. No, some tomato somewhere is feeling this. Voodoo tomato. Such a weirdo. This is how the show ends. Sorry, you guys. It's not
That's a
that
good
great.
t-shirt.
Voodoo tomato is the end. Do you guys have anything going on this week? No.
My doctor's appointment finally. Woohoo.
Hooty hoo. Anywhere people can check you out. Well, you'll have to let everybody know how your doctor's appointment goes this week.
Yeah.
Now that you
Friday.
said it. Friday. Good. It'll be a good week. Are you appearing anywhere?
No.
Okay.
No.
Apps anywhere?
I'm not
this
appearing
week?
anywhere either. No.
All right. I don't think I am either. You guys, I hope you have an effing great weekend. I hope it doesn't get any weirder. I hope it gets all the way weird. Like, I think we're all like, all right,
Awfully weird.
bring it
Yes.
on. Leviathan, aliens. Are we in a tube? Is the Mashiach coming? I don't know. But anyways, we think you guys are so awesome. We are glad you hang out with us for 3 hours of your time every week, and some of you then some on Sundays. So if you feel like clicking a like, subscribe, or one of those things on your way out, that would be awesome. Otherwise, yeah, hope your Saturday starts good. Okay, turn your volume down. 'cause
Love
it
you
might get
guys.
loud. All right, bye-bye.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
Here comes Santa. Here comes the world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. society to advance our philosophies, intentionally, magically good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys.
You're still here? It's over.